What?
Mara, what channel's the stream on?
Yours.
Hello, everybody. That still gets me.
To answer your question in the private chat, no.
Okay. I wasn't sure or not. Hey, welcome. Welcome to Talk Nerdy. It's on my channel. Yes. I knew that. And I did not question Mara at all today. Come on, did I?
You didn't question me. I'm not like shocked. I'm not widening my eyes there. But it's going on 8 p.m. Like, you know, it'd be like 7:30, quarter till 8 p.m. And Gravy's telling me there's no thumbnail. So I pop into your stream, like, are we still doing this?
I will say that I did forget to set the stream up.
Okay. I was gonna say because I'm saying like it's going on like 8 p.m. and I'm like, there's no stream set up.
Yeah, I did forget to set the stream up, but I knew it was on my channel. So yeah, I meant to do that. I left the house, came back, and then I had to jump on another stream, and I had meant to do that in between streams, and I just left my brain because I was eating goldfish with my dogs. They distracted me.
It's the goldfish like pot brownies. So
the goldfish crackers.
I know.
No, they're not, Mara. They're not. They were bugging me. So, there are times when I won't have a lot of time, like in between like this Disparate, like gaming with Disparate and Talk Nerdy. I don't have a lot of time to eat or whatever, so I'll just sort of like stand in my pantry and like eat a snack.
I believe it. See you grazing like in the pantry.
Like a toddler.
Yeah, just stand there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll stand there and eat a snack, and I was standing there eating some goldfish crackers, and my dogs always like stand behind me, and I was just like throwing it at them, and they would catch it. So I got distracted by my dogs. Okay.
My dog likes fries. Like she likes fries. Yeah. She likes eating fries. I don't know why.
Eat before you play. No, I normally do, but I was on another stream before the gaming stream. Goldfish is good. It is goldfish crackers. Now I was sent this, and I don't know who sent it, but I'm not sure if it was meant to be a joke or a serious gift. But this is cool. It is an adult sippy cup. Actually, it's probably for toddlers, to be honest. It looks like a Stanley cup. It is not. When you take a drink, water sprays through this the whale here. It's meant to make drinking water more fun. It's a little weird. I don't know. It's so weird. But it's cool though. I kind of like it.
I mean, I drink out of it. I don't like that. You know, like that design is not my style or anything.
Look at how fun. Look.
Yeah, just brew.
No, it's not. It doesn't do that. But yeah, we don't know. I don't know. We have some stuff to talk about today. Of course we do. We have some stuff to talk about. But you know what? It's not chubby. He said how chubby. But you know what? We might just sort of chill tonight, to be honest. We might just hang out, me and Mara. So I have a few topics, not a lot, not too many, and certainly nothing that will make me and Mara argue at all. Like,
I think the only thing we've seen recently that we both have watched is Squid Game 3.
Yeah. I don't even know what you think about it. Let's start there.
So
I
think
Squid Game season 3 came out.
Yeah.
I binged it like as soon as it came out.
I remember that I watched like the last 2 episodes or so like the next day, but I pretty much binged it.
I did not.
Like real fast before I give my impression, Wiley Dave said that like he sent that gremlin to you, so I don't know if
okay.
But yeah, like I saw it in the chat earlier. But I'm gonna preface this by saying, like, just because I say it's better, like, it doesn't necessarily say like mean I'm saying that Squid Game season 3 is good. But I think season 3 was a step up from season 2. I think, like, performance-wise, like, even though I don't really still really care about the characters, I think performance-wise, tension-wise, I think it's a step up from season 2. Do I think it needed more than one season? I still say no. It did not need more than one season. But I know people were complaining about who the winner was in season 3. Which I can't say without spoiling.
No, this is going to be totally spoiler free.
Yeah.
Right now, because it literally just released on Friday. Was it on Friday?
Yeah, it was Friday. So, but I saw people were like, just not exactly happy about who won season 3. It's weird. And then they had problems with what's that cop's character's name?
Just the brother cop.
Yeah, the brother cop, basically, because like I saw memes going around like the most useless characters or most useless things, and he's like up there.
Well, what did you think about it though?
I understand, like yeah, it's frustrating because like if I'm getting your question like idea like correctly, it's like the end, like his goal, like when he gets to like what he wanted to do, but ultimately I understand why he didn't for two reasons. Again, I can't go into spoilers because like it spoils like what he didn't do, which is upsetting people, because he has this goal to find this island to stop the games basically. And if you saw season 1, this is a spoiler a little bit from season 1, he finds out who the front man is and to stop the front man basically. So that's his goal pretty much. The entirety of season 2, 3 pretty much is they split up season 2. Let's like just be honest about it there. But that's his entire goal, is to find this island and confront the front man. He does, and people are not happy with that outcome.
Season 3, it just released.
Yeah. And people are not happy with the outcome. But I understand. I understand why he didn't. Yeah. So.
Total woman brain. I was honestly hoping for more this season. I liked, well, I didn't like it, but like the player storylines was fine, but like in season 2, I wasn't really connecting to any of the characters.
Like I said, the performances were better, but I'm still not invested in the character story. So again, it's like I don't care. And then the one chick who was pregnant, and like she happens to be in the games along with the guy who got her pregnant. I'm like, okay,
coincidence.
Yeah, coincidence. But at the same time, I'm like, that guy's an asshole. I don't care about him or anything. There's nothing sympathetic about his character.
I didn't like. I wasn't really connecting with any of the characters. I think that the idea of what happened to certain characters, like the pregnant girl, the mom and son, and some of the other characters, like pretty much the predominant characters that we're following in season 2, the idea of the things that happen to them, like this of what happens to them is sadder than like it happening to these specific characters.
Yeah,
it would just be sad if it was anybody. I didn't really care that it was these specific characters that it happened to. You know what I mean? Just because like I didn't really care. The games themselves, the jump rope was actually pretty cool. The jump rope was cool. The hide and seek concept was also really neat. The final game was dumb. I did not like the final game.
Yeah, that was just
that chose the winner.
It didn't feel like a kid's game. Like, it didn't exactly feel like, I get the concept of it, like, feeling like a kid's game, but like the execution didn't feel like it. Like the first season, that felt like, yeah, like they're playing a kid's game, but there's only going to be one winner because the other person's going to die. This one,
There's-
it was like,
Well, one, there were too many people. Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
felt
saying,
there
like,
were
yeah,
way too many people
yeah,
for
I'm
it
saying
to
like
be the
that.
final
That's
game.
why it also didn't feel like, that's what also like took it away from like where like season 1, it was down to like at least from like the final 2 episodes, it was down to 3 people. So it's like you are like, what's going to happen? Like you were really like connected to like just like these 2 because they are the final 2 when you get to the last episode or whatever. Here it's like 9 technically with the baby. Because they counted the baby as a player. Spoiler alert, basically.
Mara.
I'm saying, but like I'm saying, sorry, but I'm saying they know that people know. People have like posted this shit, so it's not like.
All right.
But it's like let's say 8 grown people, too many.
Yeah.
Too many. 8 grown people, too many.
See, look at Mars Monkey Max. He said the baby. Spoilers, Mara. We're gonna try and keep it as vague
That's
as
actually
possible.
not a major spoiler.
But I didn't like the final
at the
game.
end of the
I
episode.
thought there were
would
way
be a
too
major
many
spoiler.
people.
Yeah.
Way too many people in the final game. And I wanted to see more of behind the scenes from like the host perspective, since we got to spend some time with him during the game, and then he like went back to being the host because they thought that he had died.
That's a spoiler alert, chat. That's also another spoiler alert.
That was in season 2.
I know, but they haven't seen season 2 because some people didn't see season 2 because they split it up. So
this felt like season 2.5. It didn't feel like a brand new season at all.
Well, no, because I'm saying like let's be honest, they split season 2 into 2 parts because there's it's like not like, oh, there was a definitive conclusion in the last season and this season picks up with like a brand new storyline or anything. No, it's just a continuation from season 2. So it's like literally season 2 part 1, season 2 part 2.
Season 2 part 2. Yeah. Like there's a character that lady, because she's in season 2 as well. The lady that's the guard.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about her at all. In fact, going into season 3, I completely forgot about her. I completely forgot about what she was doing, and where she came from. Like I totally forgot about everything that had to do with her. And I think that just goes to show about like the characters. Like I don't care. This story isn't as good as like the very first one. It's not as good. There was way too much from her perspective, like looking at all the stuff that happens behind the scenes. Okay, sure, but I want to see that from the host's perspective. Like, give me his perspective, because we see a little bit of his backstory, like just a small little glimpse, and that small little glimpse is really good, and that's what I was hoping that we would see more in this season. That and like all of like the rich people that come and wear masks, like. Where do they come? They're just rich people. Like that's it. We don't know anything. We don't know how they learned the game, how they learned about the games. Like why are they there? Who invites them over? Like nothing. There's nothing. They're just generic.
To be fair to that, they didn't really go into that at all in season 1 that I remember.
They didn't, but like it did bring up more questions. And I feel like if you're going to show us more, then show us more. But they completely just disregarded like all of that. And like they ignored everything they set up about the boss joining the games. Yeah, like what was even the point of him being there? What was the point? There was no point. What was the point of him taking part in those games? There was no point in that. So they did show a bit of his background. I think like was it the second to the last episode, I think, or the third? I don't remember.
I can't remember.
That was more interesting, and I was just like, "Holy shit! How did he go from there to being the boss?" That was more interesting than anything that prison guard girl that gave us from behind the scenes. Like, I didn't care about her.
I think there's like when he was having conversations with Gi-hun, like those were like I think like even though he was pretending, he was speaking like he was like telling the truth in his conversations with Gi-hun. So I'm like, okay, like, so I was like, I want to see that. Show me kind of like even like flashbacks of that, because you're like, I'm getting the impression that you like like he was like connected to the games and more than just being the boss or the front man.
Yeah.
So it's like, show me At least like flashbacks. They did like one flashback.
That was
Actually,
the only
couple-
one, and that was actually interesting.
Yeah. But that was it.
There was also this room, Mara. Can you please tell me what this was? Because I don't know what it was, and I don't think that this was too big of a spoiler or anything. This is just a weird thing that happens. The lady, I don't know her name, but the lady that's the guard. She's in season 2, the one that came from like that. She's
the North Korean defector, basically.
Yeah, the North Korean defector lady who you see in season 2.
Daughter,
she's in a bunny costume. She's in a bunny costume. Her. She opens the door when she's like in the boss's office. She opens a door, and it looks like it's a wax version, maybe, possibly, of the old man. Or is he stuck?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think it's a wax version
with the golden like bunny, or no, the diamond encrusted like bunny head. Are they stuffed or are they wax figures? Because that freaked me out. I was like, wait, go in there. I go back in there. Open the door. What is that?
I don't. Just for saying they're stuffed, I think it's wax figures. I'm hoping to God it's wax figures because like that would be just insane. Like insane taxidermy wise to do that to the bosses. All right, I'm thinking it's just wax figures, like in their honor, kind of a thing. Basically, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
It didn't even phase her either. She just kind of like opened the door. She's like, oh, and then closed it. And I was like, no, please go back in. Just hide in that room. Maybe just go back in. Like,
you want to go back in with the creepy figures?
I want to see what, like, it's legit. A quick glance, and then it's like in and out.
It kind of was a jump scare because
when I saw that part, I was like, go back in. Huh?
It looked freaky. It was almost like the equivalent of a jump scare. Like when you see especially the one figure without the mask. I was like, oh my God.
I'm so mad. I was like, why would you show me that and then not like show me? Go back in. I want to see what those are. And why are they there? Oh my gosh. I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated with like all the crap that they were showing us from behind the scenes. It's like, okay, it's pretty much the same stuff that we've seen last time. Still really no answers as to why they do that coffin stuff. Like they're just making money. That's it. Money on the side, organ, making money off of like organ donation.
Yeah, they're harvesting organ from
harvesting organs. That's it. Why? I don't know.
Money on the
side. Boss know? Probably not. I don't know. Still don't know. I don't like that. I don't like these storylines that just like they go nowhere. They go nowhere. And even with this one, I was like, okay, we're gonna finish season 3 and it's going to be done, right? It's gonna be done. It's gonna be the end of Squid Game. Congratulations, we've done it. Yay, we're finished. Even it wasn't. I don't think. I mean, it was probably better than season 2. I guess, but I don't even consider it separate than season 2. I feel like it's just a whole season.
Well, part 2 is a step up from part 1, but it's still not as good. I'm saying I
thought you meant like season 1. I was like, what?
No, part 2 was better than part 1 of season 2. Yeah. On my opinion,
I mean, like it's the conclusion of season 2.
But season 1 was like, again, very good, and did not need any continuation. You could have left it. Even with seeing, okay, spoiler alert for season 1 chats, all right?
He's dropping mystery boxes for no reason that he has no intention of answering. I hate that. I hate that so much.
So, like, spoiler alert for season 1, Gi-hun is the winner. So if you haven't learned that by now, just accidentally on social media, I don't know. But you could have still left it open-ended where he turns around instead of getting on the plane or whatever. He turns around and starts walking back. You could have left it open-ended. Like, what does Gi-hun do? Like, what's his goals? That question could never have been answered, and I would have been fine. I could have been fine with that open-ended ending of season 1 with Gi-hun's character. It did not need any type of conclusion.
No, it didn't. Was I sad? I cried a couple of times watching this, but it's just because it's a sad situation. Like that's it.
Mhm.
It's not because I'm have any type of connection to these characters because I don't really care about them. It's just like, oh yeah, that's kind of sad. And
Mhm.
I was just like, that is really sad. But it could be anybody, and I would be sad about that. Um, but that's
Like I had
pretty.
more connection. What was her number in season 1? She was she was like the final 3, and she was trying to earn money for her brother because they were like, she had that broker trying to find what was she getting the broker to find her
I
brother or
know.
her
I don't
mom?
remember the numbers.
Yeah,
Mara,
but
did you
but I
cry?
loved. Actually, no, I was sad, but I didn't cry. But like, again, it's like the situation basically, like what happens with the mother and the son. Basically, it's like
Yeah.
what happens between those two.
And you know what's
The,
funny is what
the
happened between
concept
those
is
two.
saddening. Yeah, the
I
concept.
didn't. I didn't. With the mother and the son, what happened between them? I didn't cry until one of them. I'm not going to say who. One of them was talking to. How do you say his name?
Gihan,
Gihan.
and I know which character you're talking
And
about. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
until one of them was talking to him, and and sharing, and then cut to the next day. Like that not the situation, but like the everything else that happened after that. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, but like because like there was a connection to first season.
420.
That's why I'm asking, because there was a connection to the first season with like the endings in part 2 of season 2 of Squid Game, because like you have that kid meeting his mom. I think that's the kid that Gihan left with the one guy's mother.
Yeah.
At the end of season 1, and he's the brother of that chick that like died in season 1, I think.
Who?
Oh, what's her name? Hold on.
I like this comment. You say he won, but he got put in the alkalite. I'd say he lost. Yeah. Really quickly, Psychotic Mongoose, thank you so much for being a member for 11 months. I appreciate it. Culture Casino, what's up? How you doing? Culture Casino has a new channel that features a lot of us girls in the fellowship. I think I'm on that channel along with a bunch of other Joe Tugs.
Player 67, I think, the North Korean. She's also another North Korean defector who's trying to help her family, and it includes her brother.
But yeah, we're featured on that channel. We basically react to a bunch of TikToks, more specifically, like relationship TikToks. We just kind of react to those, which are pretty cool. So go and check out Culture Casino's other channel. For $5, I think the show lost steam between seasons. Studios need to be prepared for success. Remember, networks were making 24 to 26 episodes every year. That's true. I actually miss that. I miss that. I feel like the only show that I used to watch that still pretty much kind of does that is Grey's Anatomy. I used to watch Grey's Anatomy. I used to be a huge Grey's Anatomy fan. But yeah, I remember those days. Now it's like, oh my gosh, we have to film like 10 episodes. And then we have to wait like 2 years for the next season. Oh, Jesus. I know. The horror. No. It takes so much time to film between seasons when you have shows like Grey's Anatomy who are on like their 21st season or something like that. I don't even know. They're on like season 25 or something.
Mm-hmm.
They've been going for a really long time. Shooting every week. Like those actors work. They put in the work.
Yeah, I was talking, like Trey's pointing out Stranger Things. I was talking to him yesterday watching the replay of Night of Champions, and I said they're going to have to end season 5 pretty much on a fucking banger at this point because of how long it's been between season 4 and season 5. Like, there's no way they can end this series with it being just fine. With the time spent, granted there was that writer's strike, but that gave them plenty of time in the meantime, basically, to hone the script, rework it, make sure it's near fucking perfect before filming season 5. So if it comes out just fine, there's no excuse at this point.
Daniel
I don't
says I
think Stranger
stopped
Things needs
watching
to be
Grey's
up.
Anatomy after they killed Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't even remember when I stopped watching. Because I used to buy the DVDs and like the Blu-rays during Black Friday. I would like that's how I started watching it. I started watching a lot of shows like that. And then I started watching it every week. So
Mhm.
I think I started watching it. And then I went back to watch it like from the beginning during the episode where they have like that mass shooting at the hospital. So
I can't remember when I stopped watching. It was like
that was an intense. That's when I started watching it. That was an intense episode. Anyways, Squid Game. We were talking about Squid Game. So yeah, overall, this season was fine. It's not the end though, because it does lead into something else. I didn't think it was going to lead into anything.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I thought it was going to be the end. I thought that was it. We were finished with Squid Game. It was fun while it lasted, but it's not gonna go anywhere further. And it looks like it is. Mike Hill for $5. Wonder how the American version will be different from the original. Yeah. And then Spirian, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Yeah. This is the only spoiler that I will give because they're going to. I don't want this. I can honestly say 100%. I do not want an American version of Squid Game. Because everybody's going to be there complaining. Everybody's going to be complaining about, oh my gosh, this is.
Well, there will be funny watching Zoomers trying to compete in the game. It'll be funny watching Zoomers trying to compete in the games.
It would be funny. Yeah.
Morbidly funny, root again, just like you.
They're gonna bring in like Jake Paul or something, Logan Paul. Yeah. They're gonna bring YouTubers, streamers. It's gonna be stupid. There's gonna be people complaining that like, oh well, I can't believe you're in debt. You're white, or I'm only doing this because I'm black, and I don't have the things that you guys have. It's gonna be something like that, and it's going to be super.
Or some extra commentary about eat the rich, things like that.
Rich, yes. Yeah. There's gonna be so much like Western politics inserted into it. It's going to be so annoying. I was hoping that this was the end. Like if you cut out the last couple of minutes of it, like just stop there. If they make a third one, who cares? Or if they make an Americanized version of it,
if they cut it where the front man
is driving away,
cut it there.
Cut it there. That's it. Yeah, capitalism bad, Trump bad, racism stuff. It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal is gonna be in it. It's gonna be terrible. I don't want an Americanized version of Squid Game. But whatever. But yeah, did the person recruiting at the end throw you off? I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that either. I was like,
immediately
as soon as that person turned around, I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I immediately seriously went to IMDb and I looked it up. It's not even, is it there now? Let me look. It wasn't even there on their IMDb. I was like, there's no way. Like, where did this come from? Came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even there. Like it's not listed in there. I was like, what the hell? Seriously came out of nowhere.
I think at some point it will be listed, but like after it's like some time has passed since like the drop of the episodes, because I think people are like they're gonna want more people watching it, like finishing this last 6 episodes. Which is like another slight complaint I have. I don't think the episodes themselves do not need to be as long as they were, because the shortest one was like 55 minutes, and that's the shortest one. They were all pushing like a little over an hour.
I don't know if I mind. I didn't really mind the length of the episode. I was just, well, I guess I did because I was kind of bored at some points.
Yeah, I'm saying like because like it,
especially with the two storylines that I hated the most, which was like the girl guard. The defector, her storyline in the back was she trying to do that in the last? I don't think so. I don't remember. But her storyline, I didn't care about. It took so much time out of it. And then the boat storyline, like it was so dumb. It was so dumb. I was expecting the boat to reach the island a lot sooner than it did.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot sooner than it did. I was like, all right, they're gonna find it really quickly. I was thinking to myself, like, oh, by like maybe episode 3. Episode 3, they'll reach the island and it'll be this whole big thing. No, like I wanted them to reach the island a lot quicker than they did. Because it was so dumb. Like it finally happens and then I don't know. It was just it took so much away from every single episode going back and forth with so many people. It was so bloated because they had to finish so many storylines and I don't know.
Pretty much. Whereas like the first season was simply the games.
Just one character, the games. That's it.
The only separate storyline was the cop. That's it. Yeah. And even then, it like just took one season for him to like didn't even take that long, I don't think, for him to get to the island. But like that's it. But like that was the other storyline.
I can't remember 100% because it's been forever since I watched that season. But even with the cop, like was he in every single episode? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think he was in every episode. Because like his story, I don't think it's like started taking off until like a little bit into the season because like he was doing his own little investigative work behind the scenes, and he's like, "Oh shit, there might be some credibility to this," like whatever information he was getting, and that led him to try to find this location, like the location. But that was like the only other separate storyline. Everything else centered on the island.
It was all the island, all the games, like that was it. And maybe that's why. Maybe that is why I just didn't really care about any of like the characters because the focus wasn't solely on them. Their stories, their interactions, all of that. It pulled focus away from like you being able to I guess care about these characters, learn about them and instead put the focus on all of these other storylines that are happening. Like I didn't like that. It pulled too much focus. Just focus on the games and then have the cop doing something, but don't focus on him every single episode. Like because he was in every single episode. They were on the boat doing something, and yeah, it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was better. It was a lot better than season 2, probably because more was happening. But from my point of view, I think that even season 3 is just attached to season 2. So it's just the conclusion of what they set up in season 2. That's why season 2 sucks because it's all set up. It's very slow moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, but that's my impression. Like trying to be as spoiler free as possible because there's like things that happen I don't want to spoil for people if like you are planning on watching it.
How was Megan 2.0? I haven't seen it yet.
I was telling Trey this. I think personally, no, I'm not okay. It's a very exaggerated plot for the most part. It's a very exaggerated plot. So you kind of have to turn your. When I say turn your brain off, I mean like not like completely turn it off, but basically just have fun watching this. I think the trailers did it a disservice. If you watch the trailers for Megan 2 and then go watch the movie, I'm like, okay, this movie does not feel like what the trailer made it seem, basically. But I enjoyed Megan 2. I think what ultimately makes it very entertaining is when Megan finally re-enters the picture. Because like when I say finally re-enters the picture, I mean like sometimes it's like just her voice. All right, so spoiler alert, like you hear her voice initially, and it's her back and forth, particularly with the main female lead, the adult female lead, Allison Janney's character. I believe it's like the actress's name.
Ooh.
Better or worse? I think this is probably going to be a hot take. I think more entertaining than 20 years later. 20 years later was, I think, like story-wise, up until the end, good. it does have like elements of tension and things like that. I think the acting's good. I think Megan 2 is. I was actually paying more attention to Megan 2 than I was to 28 Years Later at times.
Dang.
I'm saying like it's like a hot take, but I'm saying when I say more entertaining, I mean it's like it's not like it's a different type of entertaining. So you're kind of like more engaged in Megan 2 versus 28 Years Later. It does have a little bit of commentary on AI. Okay, it does have a little bit of commentary on AI, but what I appreciate about it is like it's not one-sided. It's not one-sided. Like it shows both sides of like whatever AI debate is going on. The main female character, the adults. Well, like first off, the girl is still there. The girl comes back basically that who's being taken care of, and she's taking Aikido lessons. So there's like allusions to Steven Seagal in the movie.
She's taking what kind of lessons?
Aikido lessons.
I thought you said IKEA.
Aikido. Aikido.
Aikido?
Because Steven Seagal took an Aikido master. So she's taking Aikido.
What's Aikido?
It's a martial art.
Why didn't you just say martial arts?
Because most people know Aikido.
I don't know Aikido. I thought you said IKEA.
Now I know you.
I thought she was like building furniture. I was like, how do you take IKEA lessons?
Okay, Chad, when I say Aikido, you know what that is, right? You've heard of Aikido. Like jujitsu, judo, taekwondo, karate, Aikido.
I didn't know. I feel like a lot of skill to put those tests together. IKEA lessons wouldn't help. I didn't know.
Well, it's IKEA dough basically is where you have to do the shit yourself. Anyway, what was I saying? So and then I think like the adult female character, like like the lead from the first movie, she did annoy. I will say she annoyed me a little bit because it didn't seem like she kind of like learned anything caretaker wise from the first movie, but at the same time, she's not perfect. She's not perfect, and she does admit that she makes mistakes. So I appreciate that. You have a female, like in the age of Hollywood where women make no mistakes, you have a female character that's like willing to admit she makes mistakes. Like she makes big mistakes. She's made a mistake. So yeah, I don't want to say a lot because, like I said, I think like the plot, like the trailers made the plot look very simple, and it's a little bit more complicated than what the trailers made it seem. So I can't say too much without spoiling anything. Like, yeah, there's another AI out there that was taken from hacking the schematics for Megan. But there's more to it than that. It's not just like, oh, bad AI. Like, Megan has to fight a bad AI. There's a little bit more to it. And I like to say Megan I like Megan. She's a fucking hoot listening to her. Like there's some lines where it's like, Trey, if you haven't Trey, I think you'll appreciate some of the lines Megan has. Because she makes it a point sometimes to kind of like poke the bear with the female lead, but she does it in a way where it's like you can't help but laugh at what she says. And she has no filter. She has no filter, so she'll just say whatever she thinks. So yeah. But yeah, that's Megan 2. I don't want to say too much of anything. I think it's an entertaining movie. Did they need to make it? No, not necessarily. I don't think, because Megan was like the first movie was, I think, a good movie in itself. But I think Megan 2 is entertaining.
Okay, cool. You said it was more entertaining than 28 Years Later.
Yeah, because 28 Years Later, I think, was a good movie.
Uh-huh.
But it's supposed to be a trilogy, and it's just a foundation story. So I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting like a little bit bored in some parts. Come on, move it along.
I
Move it
only
along
liked
with it.
half.
Mhm. So
I only liked half of it. Half
Yeah.
that movie.
I'm kind of giving 28 Years Later a little bit of a pass just because it's supposed to be a trilogy. So it's like I want, before I say anything really conclusive about it, I want to see where they go with the second movie. I will say the ending of 28 Years Later was, what the fuck were you smoking, Alex Garland?
It was so bad.
That felt like a completely different movie than what was set up, like, the entirety of the film up to that point. The tracksuit, like the tracksuit Seville looking ninjas. But yeah.
Mara.
Yeah. I think give Megan 2 a chance.
Give Megan 2. I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see it. I just didn't have the time this weekend. Mara.
Yeah. Why?
Hold on, I need to find it.
When she says Mara, it's never a good thing. I'm waiting for it to be like another scrotum filler.
You know what? This was it was sad news to me, but not so sad because I follow this account on Instagram. I have where is it? I have hold on, wait, I have to grab it really quickly. Hold on.
Well, chat.
I follow this account on Instagram. It's a silly account. It makes me happy. It makes me smile. This character is super adorable. I love this character. Okay. And it got this little guy got his own show on Nickelodeon, which was really cute. I was like, hey, let's go. And he even won an Emmy, 2 Emmys actually. And I think this character is so cute. Okay. And it's the character of Tiny Chef. Like I even have an emote for him on my Kick channel that's just Tiny Chef emote. Like he's so freaking cute. And his show was canceled. And a lot of people, his Nickelodeon show was canceled. And a lot of people like rallied behind Tiny Chef and like donated to try and save Tiny Chef. And it's all because of this. Hold on, wait. This video that they put out on Instagram. He's so cute.
Yes, but I know Tiny Chef here.
Look, it's just look, I love this little guy. Okay, I love this little guy. It's so cute.
He said hello.
Whoa, damn, back at Ewan. Ready to cook up some more episodes? I got a brilliant blanket. Canceled? Bloody amazing canceled. But listen, Ruby had training, but she'll behave on set, I promise.
Ruby is his little dog.
But I have like years that will blow your minds. I've been. But we brother Blebby. But about Wob. But Jen. Cake. Patty. Blemke. Where? But all my friends. Right? I understand. I love you too. Bye.
He's dusting a plant.
So the internet completely rallied behind Tiny Chef. Like this went viral pretty much everywhere. It went viral everywhere that Tiny Chef lost his Nickelodeon show. And they've been raising money to try and save Tiny Chef's show on Nickelodeon. I can't believe how viral it went. But He's so cute. Listen, look, hold on. When I say like I found this and I just became a Tiny Chef fan, like I'm serious. He came out with his own little doll, and I own his doll. Like I freaking love him. I just, as a fan of the Instagram, I never watched the Nickelodeon show, but it's a cute little Instagram little thing, and he even speaks. Look. So I've been a fan of Tiny Chef. This is like the first little doll or the first little plushie that they ever made and put out. I love Tiny Chef. They do the cutest like little reels on Instagram, and I'm not losing my mind. Okay. Look, I like cute little things, and Tiny Chef is just like this little cute thing. I don't even know what it is. And they make like really adorable little reels, little skits with this little tiny thing. And it's really cute. And they happened to get a Nickelodeon show, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, I was so shocked at how viral this went. Like people found out about Tiny Chef, and people became so emotional at him like losing his show that they've raised, I think, over like $80,000. I think I read somewhere that it was way beyond that. It was 100,000. Here it is. That the Tiny Chef show has raised nearly $100,000 to help save the show from ending. Like people are donating to this to try and save the Tiny Chef show. This has 19 million views. I wonder how many views like the initial reaction went. But look, I posted this. I love this for my guy. This was Tiny Chef at Comic-Con. He went as a Ninja Turtle.
I know, I get it.
Like he's so freaking adorable, and even the announcement when he got his own show on Nickelodeon was super cute. So yeah, I
just don't know what to say, Daniel, because I've never heard of the show.
Mara's like, what is happening?
I've never heard of the show. I've never heard of Tiny Chef. I didn't know there
I
was.
just think that this is why this is crazy. Look at this. This random person with 2,000 followers. This is where people started picking up this story. Nickelodeon broke this man, because I actually saw this on Instagram before it, made its way to Twitter. This has 115 million impressions because everybody started sharing this one video. Like this went crazy viral. Everybody now, I'm so obsessed with this photo of Tiny Chef. Like this has 7.5 million impressions. Like this went crazy viral. All of social media uniting to support Tiny Chef. They have literally never heard of him until his cancellation video. Yeah. And it's so true. Nobody has ever heard of Tiny Chef unless you watch him on Nickelodeon or you find him on Instagram.
I'm surprised people still watch stuff on Nickelodeon.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, hold on. Wait, let me show you his Instagram. It's so cute. But I was shocked. I was literally shocked at how
I don't know what they think
went.
How much help they think $100,000 is going to make, but
I don't know. But
I'm more power to
I don't know.
It's probably not even enough for an episode.
Yeah, I don't know. But this is Tiny Chef. Look, they have 5 million followers on Instagram, but like on Twitter that had over 100 million impressions over on Twitter. And people are trying to save Tiny Chef. Look at this is one of my favorite ones. Look. Come on, Mara. He's so cute. Look at the way he dances, Mara. Look at him. Stop looking down. Look at Tiny Chef. Look at how he breaks open the garlic. Like seriously. Trey says, I need all the drugs. Listen, Mars we're getting showing up tonight. I'm telling you, Tiny Chef is a gem in his own corner of the internet. All right, like he's a little ray of sunshine that I just happened to find. Like I don't even like 2 years ago. I think I don't even know. I think it was like 2 years ago when I found Tiny Chef. But he's adorable.
Blah, blah, blah.
He's so cute. I freaking love Tiny Chef. This is another one of my favorite ones.
I'll never hear Tiny Chef. I have my his rings, made a movie. I'm like, made a correlation, roll close to every blend of the way of it royal. Little honey,
He's so cute, okay? But the internet is rallying behind the Tiny Chef show, trying to save this little guy. Look at him. Look at him. He's so cute. Trying to save this little guy from cancellation. Will it happen? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Hold on. I want to show you another one. Let me see if I can find it. A lot of his stuff is like reposts because once they started their Nickelodeon show, they didn't really have a lot of time to make anything for here. So some of it is repost, but some of it isn't. Oh my gosh, look. This is him getting ready for Comic-Con.
Where's Foremost? Most and me say hi. Where's Foremost? Robots in the skies. This is me as a twat.
Listen, I love Tiny Chef. I'm trying to find the thing that I was looking for. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, is it this one?
Hey, gonna get you
He went. Oh my gosh. I freaking love this little guy. I like that more people are finding him. Which is really cute because he makes me smile. Okay. Look, he does ASMR too.
Oh god.
Is it this one?
Hello everybody and welcome to my ASMR channel.
It's so Tiny Chef is supposed to be like discovering the internet and things. So he'll do like ASMR, he'll do little TikTok dances as well. So funny. He's just really cute. All right. He makes me smile. He makes me laugh. I freaking love Tiny Chef. Oh my god. I love this one. Look. See? He's doing the TikTok dance.
Hey!
But yeah, I freaking love Tiny Chef. I've been a fan of Tiny Chef for maybe 3 years. Like it was enough time for me to like I bought their first like trial
Mhm.
run of Tiny Chef dolls. When they came out with them. But yeah, I love Tiny Chef and I love that people are rallying behind him. I think that like look, it's not anything crazy. It's not anything to get angry over. It's not any type of like woke Hollywood thing that we cover. I think that this is probably one of the most wholesome things that I've seen on the internet so far. Everybody on social media sort of rallying to try and save Tiny Chef, like everybody coming together to try and save this little show from being canceled on Nickelodeon. Will it help? I don't know. I highly doubt it. But
I don't think so, but at the same time, it's like if Nickelodeon listens and opens it up for another season, are these people going to actually watch it? Because if the numbers don't match,
yeah,
what's happening on social media, like don't match the views,
mhm.
it's gonna
If
get canceled again.
anything, I think if anything, more people will just go to their TikTok and Instagram, and help them there by just being fans of the show, because even that, or being fans of like the creators of Tiny Chef, because I think even that helps. He doesn't have to have a Nickelodeon show. They were pretty successful even before the Nickelodeon show. So yeah, I think that this is just so wholesome, so adorable, so cute, and I love that everybody rallied against my little guy, my guy Tiny Chef. It's wholesome, it's adorable, and I'm here for it. I love that the internet, I love that the internet found out about Tiny Chef, because I think that he should be a lot more popular than he actually is.
Like I said, I didn't know. So the people are pointing out that I've like checked out, that I've tuned out. I was like, I have no idea what to say to this because I never knew there was
I
a
know.
character that
Yeah,
existed.
I didn't even tell Mara. I didn't even tell Mara that we were going to talk about Tiny Chef. I just remembered that this happened this year.
Because whenever she says Mara, my guard always fucking goes up.
I totally forgot about him until I went to my Twitter and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this that happened this week." The only other person other than me that knows about Tiny Chef is Jay Hellstorm, because I I sort of torture him with Tiny Chef. I've been torturing him with Tiny Chef for like a year.
I believe that.
Yeah, I've been torturing him with Tiny Chef. And I told him that the show got canceled. He was like, "Hallelujah." He was so but yeah, that's the only person that other than me that knows about Tiny Chef was Jay Hellstorm, mostly because I torture him with it. I think like we had to I don't know, we had to work together for G&G at one point. And I told him, I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at Tiny Chef." And he's like, "What is that? What the hell is that?" And he was so annoyed from it. So I've every now and then, like maybe once or twice a month, I'll send him like a Tiny Chef clip. He's the only one. But yeah, Tiny Chef. People are learning about Tiny Chef. Makes me happy. Jay Hailstorm celebrating a show cancellation. Just like you're torturing Mara right now. Hey, this is a large dose of Tiny Chef chat. I understand that. This is a very large dose of Tiny Chef, and you guys weren't ready. You weren't prepared. Totally get it. I understand. Tiny Chef, takes some getting used to, but I watched one video of Tiny Chef and I was just like, "Follow. You have earned my follow with this one video." He's so cute. Can you see why I like this little thing?
I can see why you like it. It takes a bit more than this to break me, Anthony. Don't worry. It's just I have no words. It's just why I have no words. Just send me the gremlin that Wiley Dave sent you for me, and I'll be happy.
What?
The gremlin that Wiley Dave sent to your PO box for you to send to me.
Oh,
basically, they didn't have
okay.
just send me that. I'll be happy.
Tiny Shaft. I don't think anybody knows or knew that I was a fan of Tiny Chef. So when I saw that video, I was like, oh no. Nobody knew that. Trey is like, I still don't get it.
I'm kind of with you there, Trey. To each their own, basically. So
Yeah.
not my taste.
Experiences, I've known you like Tiny Chef for a while. I think I've mentioned it like on stream. So you know what? It probably has been like 3 years, but yeah, I think I've mentioned it on stream. And whenever we would raid Jay Hailstorm on Kick or something, like I would say spam the Tiny Chef emote. Like
Okay.
yeah. So Daniel says I had no idea he existed. Well, now you do. Thanks to me, you know about Tiny Chef. Yay!
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
Hold on, I gotta put my little doll away.
All right.
All right. This this doesn't happen on Jade Shadow's channel. Well, it happens on mine, okay? It happens on mine. Let's talk about Beyonce. This is kind of topical. Hold on. I actually have to find a picture of it because I still haven't been able to find a picture of what people are talking about. So let me see if I can find a picture and then we'll talk about this. Beyonce shirt. Beyonce wore an incredibly offensive shirt. Here it is. Is it this one? I believe Beyonce is still on her Western kick. I don't know. I don't listen to Beyonce. I don't follow Beyonce. But she's trying to be a country singer. She's on her country. She's on her country kick. Yeah.
All right. Okay. This.
You mean country? Yes, I meant country. My bad. She's on her country kick right now. She's trying to be a country singer. A lot of people don't want her there, but because they don't think that her songs sound very country. It's more poppy. I agree. Because I love country music. But let me get to here. We have that. And then where's my TikTok? There it is. Boop. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna have to go. Well, I can actually share the window. Let's share the window. Fans criticized Beyonce for her shirt calling Native Americans enemies of peace. She wore a t-shirt during her Juneteenth performance on her Cowboy Carter tour that sparked discussion over how Americans framed their history and caused a wave of criticism for the Houston-born superstar. And this was the t-shirt that she wore. This is what it has, and it has Buffalo Soldiers. This person says Beyonce, huh?
I said okay.
Yeah, this is the shirt she wore, and she's receiving a ton of blowback for wearing this shirt. Beyonce wearing Buffalo Soldier shirt, an American Army unit comprised exclusively of African Americans that helped European and white American colonists fight back Native Americans and seize control of their land, is not the serve she thinks it is. So Beyonce is currently being canceled for this.
There are a lot of not exactly correct that statement, but to add context to that statement, not all Native Americans were peaceful, and the Buffalo Soldiers did serve a fucking purpose because Native Americans, like certain tribes, were attacking other Native Americans and settlers. So fucking yeah, Buffalo Soldiers were fucking necessary, and they were comprised primarily of African Americans. So, and Trey pointed out, Native Americans owned slaves, so they weren't the peaceful people that they like to be portrayed as today. No. They weren't. They weren't all peaceful. Some were. Some just kept to themselves, but others would repeatedly raid other tribes and attack settlements, as well as cart off women and children after raiding the settlements. So they weren't all peaceful.
Agreed. I'm just gonna say.
I'm saying like, but I'm saying
Yes,
that
no, I
they're doing
completely
that.
agree. I completely agree with everything that you're saying. Beyonce fans don't think that way. Beyonce fans
Yeah.
don't agree with you. Because she is currently on the verge of cancellation. People are speaking out against her and against the shirt that she decided to wear at her concert.
Mhm.
I have to share my other screen. Hold on, because I need audio. But people on TikTok are kind of upset. I've only bookmarked 3 videos, but I've seen a lot more than that. This is my TikTok. Come and follow me if you want to. I don't really do much there. But here's this one.
Beyonce,
This has 3.3 million views.
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck? We're the enemy? Bitch, did we come to your fucking country to bother y'all? We're not the
No, you were
ones.
killing each other before we came to this country, so yeah. So we just kind of joined in at that point.
Your fucking country to bother y'all? We're not the ones that jumped on some ships and crossed the whole fucking ocean to go kidnap y'all and bring you back in chains. That wasn't us. We're not the ones that slaved y'all out for 400 years. We were the ones standing next to you while they were slaving y'all out.
No, you fucking weren't. You fucking weren't, bitch. You fucking weren't.
Hold on, Mara. Hold on. Let's listen to what she has to say really quickly. Hold on. This is just you disagree all you want. I understand, but these are the reactions that people are having to the shirt on Twitter. The people are freaking out about it.
Ocean to go kidnap.
And people are freaking out about it. And they're trying to cancel Beyonce over the shirt.
Yeah.
Y'all and bring you back in chains. That wasn't us. We're not the ones that slaved y'all out for 400 years. We were the ones standing next to you while they were slaving y'all out. That was the most tone deaf shit I've ever seen from a fucking celebrity, especially somebody like you. But I'm glad that now we see you for who you really are and we see everything for what it really is. You said what you said. You did what you did. Now stand on that shit.
I was going to make a Lily Tino video.
I did not know.
Like, you didn't stand with African Americans. You owned slaves. Like I said, you raided settlements, killed the men, and if you didn't kill the women and children, you took them as prisoners, as slaves, and then basically had your way with the women to procreate, basically against their will. So you gonna acknowledge that's a part of your history where you would actually sexually assault the women you captured and impregnated? You gonna acknowledge that?
Mm-hmm. I think people being upset and in their feelings over the shirt that she wears is very it I don't know, it has like an interesting, to me it speaks to like a whole different conversation. Like they can have all of their opinions on their belief system or whatever, everything that they believe happened and all of that stuff, right? It's history, it happened, and people are still in their feels about it now. That's totally fine. But the other conversation that I think is interesting is that these are Beyonce's fans, okay? And they're completely turning on her on a dime because of a shirt that she's wearing. Beyonce, the one that went to Kamala's speech, people were like, oh my gosh, Beyonce, they were really excited about it. Beyonce can do no wrong. She's just a victim of everything that happens. And that's to say, like, you have your fan base, but they will turn on you in a split second, in the blink of an eye, if you do something remotely wrong. People are really upset at Beyonce right now. And now they're even talking about her like, here it is. Beyonce is guilty. Is as guilty.
No,
she's
not as guilty as Diddy.
Now
she's
they don't have
close to that level of guilt, and I can't believe I'm defending Beyonce. Like, she did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but they don't. That's what people have been saying, But they're like, oh, she could have been Jay-Z's wife and just not have and just been oblivious to everything that was going on because people, connect Jay-Z to Diddy and everything that they did. And so, but people were defending Beyonce saying, no, she's not guilty like that. She probably didn't know anything that was going on. But but now they're like, oh, screw it. She's connected to Diddy. She knew everything that was going on. I think it's just hilarious that everybody is just completely turning against Beyonce. Here's another one. how Beyonce stands are taking how Beyonce stands are talking about natives since she wore that shirt. Now, this one's wild. Like it's the Pocahontas song. I think that that's reaching. That's an overreach. But now everybody's just talking about how Beyonce has always been out of touch. Beyonce has always been evil. I think that more people are like, oh, celebrities really are out of touch. They do live in like this whole little different bubble than regular people, you know? So I think more people are sort of waking up to that. I think that that's like all of these people having these reactions on TikTok. That's fine. They can have their reactions. They can have their opinions. That's fine. Whether they are the right ones or the wrong ones, I don't really care. I just think that it's interesting that more people are finally not looking up to these celebrities as idols and, you know, people who they can look up to and that have straight morals and all that stuff, that they're actually out of touch celebrities that live in this whole different plane than we do, than regular people. So maybe they'll stop listening to them when they try to virtue signal to them. I think that's interesting to me. I don't even remember what this lady said.
Morning Native TikTok. If you got a hold of what Beyonce said, because I was tagged by main account, as I said there, y'all are not enemies of peace. Don't let that get you fucked up. Don't let it fuck up your weekend, and don't let it get you down. She ain't even happy in her own motherfucking marriage. She is deemed one of the most beautiful black women in America, and that motherfucker still cheated on her. It is true.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What does enemy of peace mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that phrase.
She didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. She just wore a t-shirt.
Trendy
I know.
right
I'm just
now
saying, like,
to
I'm just trying to wrap my head around that phrase, enemy of peace. Like, what the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Indigenous communities, and she hopped on the bandwagon. Baby, don't let that get y'all fucked up. Y'all are lit. Y'all support the black and the brown. We support y'all, and we ain't never worried about a motherfucker that's a side bitch in her own motherfucking marriage, as rich as she is, as pretty.
Like they're turning on Beyonce. Like nobody has any sympathy for her anymore. Okay. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting. Everybody's turning on Beyonce. Nobody has any sympathy. She was getting sympathy from people with everything that was going on with Diddy, and then like people connecting Jay-Z to him. She was getting sympathy. Not anymore. And all it took was a shirt. Like that's it. All it took was a shirt.
And then you know what I'm gonna I'm willing to bet even money on is that probably most Native Americans don't give a shit.
They're not shower caps, they're bonnets.
Yeah, but they always wear them in public. Have you noticed that? Anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to bet even money that most Native Americans either one, not paying attention to this shit, and two, if they do know about it, don't give a shit. She just wore a shirt. I love how the people you showed, maybe one was a Native American, maybe one. But I'm looking at those videos.
The second one was.
I'm looking at the videos, and they were mostly white or black. I'm betting most Native Americans couldn't give a shit, and I'm willing to bet even money. I'm willing to bet even money on that. I'm willing to bet even money that most don't give a shit. And probably most, and there's a good chunk that probably don't even know about it. Because, again, they don't care about this. They don't care enough about this to get even invested in shit like this.
I'm putting something in the private chat because I can't say it out loud.
Should I say it out loud?
No! You can just laugh.
All right.
Oh my God, I almost wrote it in the in the actual chat.
I was going to bring that up because they got their own problems in certain locations. I wasn't going to say it exactly like that, but I was going to bring that up. If you actually look at the problems they deal with wherever they live, they got their own shit to deal with.
Who says sorry that my ancestors came to your nation and improved it? Say it or put it in chat. No. I can't put it in chat.
Me personally, I'll say it. I don't give a fuck, but this is Steph's channel, so it's up to her if she wants me to say
What kind of ism is Steph saying?
it. It's up to her if she'll let me, wants me to say it.
We got bigger problems in life than looking up to celebrities. Hey,
Yeah.
A lot of people still do, though. A lot of people still do, which I don't get. But whatever. Whenever. More people are opening up their eyes and they're like,
No,
yeah, celebrities are so out of touch.
It
They don't
wasn't
really
a naughty
care about
word,
us.
I'll say that. It wasn't a naughty word, but I don't fucking care if I get canceled or not. So, but I said it's not my channel. For my channel, I wouldn't give a shit. I just say it. It's not my channel. It's up to her if she'll let me say it.
No, you can't. Mara's
Yes,
happy to
you
get
can.
canceled.
Yeah. I've been gotten canceled on Twitter so fucking much. I don't care anymore. No, it wasn't chubby. It wasn't a word. It wasn't a word. I'm gonna say that. It wasn't a word. And she's I guess, yeeted herself from choking on whatever she was eating or drinking. Eventually she'll come back. Probably, yeah. She's laughing.
No, I choked on my water. It went down the wrong pipe.
That's what almost happened to me last week when you started saying chubby. You wanted to give your chubby to Disparu. So I almost choked on my own water.
I want to say, did you watch the stream, Mara?
No, because I was I was watching something else. Plus, I was D&D today, so I mean, I can take the chat's mind off of stuff and tell you what happened last week on D&D. This is from the warped mind of Steve Kenobi.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'll try to sum it up as quickly as possible, so I'm not telling the entire story. My character and Ms. Marmuse's character had to go. Oh God, I read the private chat. My character and Ms. Marmuse's character in D&D had to go to the Caribbean last time. Not this session, but the last session. And where we met up with young Indy. When I say young Indy, I mean, if you followed my D&D stories for Call of Cthulhu up to this point, you know that there's a cloning that happens. So our blood is taken, and if we die on a mission, then we're kind of cloned back. So it's not basically with memories prior to the mission, basically. And that's what happened with Indiana Jones. So when I say young Indy, I mean his age in the trilogy of movies, not young Indy. So we had to go down to the Caribbean to help him get his spyglass back and an amulet he needed to find the statue. We get the spyglass back from a character named Leo Getz. And if you know that character's name, you know what franchise that character is from. So we had to get the spyglass back from him, and he was really fun to interact with. Then we had to get the amulet back, and the amulet involved us getting it from this kind of gang leader who looked like Christopher Walken, and his henchmen looked like Bill Cosby, Michelle Rodriguez, and Al Long. All right. Okay. Fast forward, we have to sneak onto his ship, the gang leader's ship, to get the amulets at night. And we do this with Mr. Miyagi. Okay, fast forward. We meet Mr. Miyagi on this mission too. I'm skipping over stuff, basically. All right. So Mr. Miyagi stays on the little boat. I'm skipping stuff, baby. I'm skipping stuff. All right. Okay. Actually adds, we sneak onto the boat, get down to the level where the amulet is, or where, because you sneak past Christopher Walken and Al Long's character and find Bill Cosby and Michelle Rodriguez, and Bill Cosby is railing Michelle Rodriguez from behind while she's passed out. And the story, context is that she wanted to get knocked out, so she didn't have to deal with looking at him whenever he was railing her, basically. So we see a naked Bill Cosby railing Michelle Rodriguez, and the amulet's there. And I take one for the team, chat. I take one for the team because I knew all it would take is for one of us to roll a 1 and shit would go down, basically. So I took the chloroform rag that was next to Bill Cosby, snuck up behind a naked Bill Cosby, and grappled him from behind to get him to pass out. So I was scarred last week. That'll take your mind off things, chat. That'll take your mind off this whole Beyonce thing.
What's wrong with my topic? There's nothing wrong with my topic.
So I took one for the team for the Call of Cthulhu game that I'm playing that we cannot stream. Like, we legitimately cannot stream this game for you all. Like, you all ask us to go live when we do our gaming sessions. There's no fucking way we can. It's like, literally, I'm telling you, that is like what I had to do the last gaming session. And there's another thing that happened in this gaming session that is completely fucked up. And if you're a Nintendo fan, you're gonna get scarred. So yeah. I didn't do that, Daniel. I got him to pass out. I grappled him and got him to pass out.
She's telling a story.
Yeah. So, but I skipped a lot of stuff because, yeah.
It's a D&D story.
We could not stream this. We could not stream this.
No. Mara, someone extremely special is coming back to the Fast and Furious finale. April 2027. That is when we will get the final Fast and Furious movie. I've been a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise since the beginning. It is something that me and my brothers sort of bond over. They love those movies, and I watched it along with them. And every time there's a new Fast and Furious movie, we all just sort of get together and go watch it in theaters. It's something that we do when these movies come out. They're so much fun for us. My brothers were very much into cars. I wasn't, but I just like the movies. I have fun with them. So, so the final movie is coming out. The final Fast and Furious movie is coming out.
I'll believe that when I see it. I'll believe that when I see it.
Hey, it's the final one. That's it. Like Vin Diesel said, he's done. It is the final movie.
But how many times have we heard actors say that, and a big enough paycheck crosses their desk, and they come back for one more?
It could possibly be the final one with Vin Diesel. Now, he might continue it on with other actors, possibly, because I mean, we had Tokyo Drift, and he was only in there at the end. You know what I mean? But it's the final one with Vin Diesel, at least. But yeah, someone is coming back. Someone is coming back to the final movie, and that someone is Paul Walker. Vin Diesel says Paul Walker's character may return for Fast and Furious finale, having Dom and Brian reunite. Now, we did have them, go off. Unfortunately, Paul Walker did pass away. And in the final movie, they had him drive off. They said, Brian is a family man. He's not going to be with us anymore. We have to protect his family. And he can't come along with us on these dangerous missions anymore. So like, this is going to be his last one. During the filming of that movie, like his brothers stepped in to fill in the roles. He had I think it was his younger brother who did like all of the action scenes, and his older brother, every time he was like with his sons or his family, it was like his older brother. I believe that's how they did it, if I remember correctly, because it's been so long. But yeah, Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor will indeed see each other again. This is the quote. The actor began sharing an unexpected release date. He says, "Just yesterday, I was with Universal Studios. The studio said to me, Vin, can we please have the finale of Fast and Furious in April of 2027? And I said, under 3 conditions, because I've been listening to my fan base. These are the 3 conditions. The first is to bring the franchise back to LA. I totally agree with that. Like, bring it back to LA. Let's go. That's where it all started. Like,
I can see that full circle.
Yeah, like a full circle thing. Bring it back to LA. The second thing is to return to the car culture, to street racing. That is where it is. That is where it was. That's where it started. It was extremely grounded. They weren't superheroes. They weren't spies or anything. Like they went to space. They went to space, right? Like, I'm all for it. I'm all for the continuation of like these Fast and Furious movies getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Like, give me Dominic Toretto in a time traveling car, going back and then going back, driving up a T-Rex. Like, I am all for that. I am all for that. These movies like getting crazier and crazier. I don't mind, because I go in there to have a good time. I don't really take these movies too seriously.
I'm kind of with Trey. It's like they've already jumped the sharks. It's kind of be hard to unjump that arc. So it's
I
like
mean,
they're gonna have.
depending on how they do it, they could, bring it back. They
Mhm.
could bring it back because right now I have to rewatch the last movie. I pretty much watched it in theaters and I haven't watched it again. But yeah, I have to rewatch that last movie. But I
Mhm.
mean, they could bring it back. You don't know. You don't know. It depends on how it's written. But yeah, bring it back to LA, bring it back to car culture, bring it back to street racing. No more, being spies and all of that crazy stuff that they've been doing. And the third thing, Diesel concluded with his last wish. The third thing was reuniting Dom and Brian O'Connor. That is where you're going to get the finale. Now, it's not to say that like the character of Brian is going to be in the entire movie because he wasn't in the last one. The story that is currently going on in Fast and Furious has nothing to do with Brian, pretty much. So I don't think that he'll be in the final movie. It's probably like he's going to be in. He could possibly be in like the final shot. Kind of like one of the movies. I can't remember exactly which one, but like they're having dinner and Brian comes in his car and then you just kind of see his foot coming out of the car. But with this, I'm pretty sure they would do what they sort of did with either getting his brother to come back and perform as Brian and then doing like the face thing all over again. But they could do it in a way that is respectful. I think that the way that they did it, the way that they did the movie and the movie ending with it being Paul Walker's final movie was super respectful. They had no choice but to do that because they were already filming the movie. This is a choice in bringing him back and, revealing, doing the same thing that they did there. But in this new movie, that is a choice. But it is a way to, I mean, Paul Walker was a huge part of the Fast and Furious franchise, and he actually loved the franchise. He preferred fans call him Brian than his name Paul. I think like he was quoted as saying that, like I like people in the street like calling me by Brian. I don't mind that. I love that because I love that character so much. I love Fast and Furious so much. Like he liked it when fans called him Brian. It didn't annoy him or anything. So with that knowledge, I think that it would be I don't want to say disrespectful, but I think it would feel unfinished. The family would feel not whole if Brian, if the Brian character wasn't included in like, maybe the last shot of the movie or something. So because he was such a big part of the franchise.
Yeah. I remember when it all happened and like the news broke that he died in that car accident. I was reading like how like which is like what's sad me the most of the situation was finding out, I guess, like from people that he was genuinely a nice guy in real life. One story I remember reading is this couple was in a jewelry store. I can't remember why Paul Walker was in the jewelry store, but this couple was in there looking at engagement rings, and the girl saw one that she really wanted, but they couldn't afford, so they left the jewelry store.
Yeah.
Kind of like sadly accepting that fact and thinking like, we'll have to like look at other places. And the next thing they know, like he's coming out of the jewelry store with the engagement ring.
Yeah, he bought it for them.
He bought it for them.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping again, they've jumped they might be able to achieve it. I don't want to say yes or no. I'm in the boat, like I said, where it's like they've jumped the shark so much. Like it's gonna take a little bit of work to get it regrounded to the point where it's like it feels like the early Fast and Furious movies. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. I don't mind them bringing him in. I don't mind that at all because, like I said, it would feel unfinished if he wasn't included in some kind of way. I'm trying to find that quote. I think it was I'm pretty sure it was the Paul Walker Twitter account because I believe his daughter runs the Twitter now. Trying to find that quote. Where is he at? This could be wrong. Hold on, wait. Paul Walker. Hold on. I can't remember the actual quote. Actually, let me just Google it. Just go into Twitter. Let me just Google it. Mara, say something.
Something. Something. Something. Something. Something.
Okay, so it says yes. It's yes. He often mentions in interviews he liked it when fans called him Brian. It was a way to connect with the fans and engage in conversations. I can't remember. I can't find the actual quote where he says it though.
Mhm.
Boom, 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 boom.
But I
Anyway,
can understand that. I can understand that because of the movies I've seen Paul Walker in, like the Fast and Furious ones, like felt like those were the ones where it's like those were kind of his babies. Like you could tell like he was like, very invested in that character.
Yeah, for sure. I love those movies. You know what? I think I'm gonna have a Fast and Furious marathon. I'm gonna do that this week. Yep. It's gonna happen. Fast and Furious marathon.
There you go,
I
Chad.
love those movies. Superman. Superman is almost here, Mara.
Yeah, I'm still
And-
watching the Jack Sparrow copy. Don't have a lot of hope for this movie.
Listen, despite my hesitation and pretty much dislike of the clips that they've been releasing, I'm still hopeful for this movie. I just hope that they're releasing clips that just aren't good or don't look good out of context, out of the context of the entire movie, right? That's what I'm hoping for because I still have a lot of hope for the movie. I hope it's good. I want some really good DC movies. More specifically, I want a good Superman movie. It's been a while since we've had a standalone Superman movie. I want a good one, and I'm hoping that this is a good one. David Cornsweet is really cool. I've loved all of like the individual behind the scenes little featurettes that they've been putting out on TikTok and Twitter, featuring David Cornsweet. And just him and his dog, him interacting with the kids. I think that that's really cute. And him in interviews, I've watched a couple of interviews of his, and he seems like a really nice, chill guy. So he seems like a really good guy. I like his look as Superman. I think he does have a really good Clark Kent. I know a lot of people don't like his curly hair, but I kind of like it. I don't mind the curly hair. And I think that the look of Superman is good. I'm hoping that the suit grows on me a little bit because I don't particularly like it. But in the scene with Lex where he destroys the desk and everything, the suit wasn't as distracting. So I'm thinking that I'm probably not going to be distracted by the suit too much. It's just with the trailer and the small clips that we've been getting, the suit is a little bit distracting, but I don't think it'll be too distracting, when watching the movie. So that scene sort of like, I don't know, made me think like, okay, it should be good. James Gunn has recently revealed something, which is very interesting. He reveals the surprising way David Cornsweet's Superman hides his identity, and that is with hypnoglasses. Clark Kent's civilian disguise brings back a long-forgotten part of DC lore in Superman. James Gunn's Superman puts more focus on Superman's double life than several of the Man of Steel's previous appearances. That's cool. Like, I want to see him doing a lot of saving a lot of saving Metropolis. But if we're dealing with like his the way he's what words am I searching for? With how he's like, going into his different identities, and that could be cool too. David Cornsweet's Clark Kent looks and behaves differently as Superman, as he should, as most of the actors do who play Superman or take on the role of Superman. Though he still conceals his real identity with only a pair of glasses and a different hairstyle. Speaking of James Gunn confirms that there's more to Clark Kent's disguise than a regular pair of glasses. And like, I know that this has been a conversation within the Superman fan base and basically fan base in general, within the nerd fan base of, oh, he just conceals his identity with a pair of glasses, and nobody knows who he is. It's just he's just wearing glasses. So, but it's just kind of accepted as like Clark Kent just hides his identity with glasses, right? It's just accepted that way. The Superman director reveals that he discussed Clark Kent's civilian persona with Tom King, who reminded him that Superman
Who's
once
a big
wore.
douchebag, by the way.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into that. Once wore glasses made of a material that hypnotizes people, and those are the glasses. Those are the glasses that he's going to be wearing in the movie.
Well, I want to know like when they were canon. Does he say?
This is the quote.
I know, yeah, but
canon.
it doesn't say when. It doesn't say when they were canon.
No,
It just
I'd
says
have to
they were
look it
canon.
up.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up.
Canon. Okay, that's canon in the comics. It's kind of been forgotten, but that's from the comics. I was sitting with Tom King, the comic book writer, and I was like, the thing that I just don't really know how to reconcile in myself is the glasses, because the glasses always bothered me as a kid. They bothered me because I just don't have that much suspension of belief to believe that. And that's the conversation that a lot of people have been having when it comes to Superman. Like, oh, he just conceals his identity with a pair of glasses and gets away with it. Are people that dumb they don't see how they look the same? So that's been a conversation for a long time. He says, they're two different people, even though I think out of all the actors that have played Superman, Corn Sweat looks the most different as Clark Kent to Superman.
Okay, hold on.
Trying to think, is that true? That's kind of true. Yeah. It's because he gave him like that big bushy hair. I said her. I'm trying to think back to like all of the Supermen. No, yeah, because even Brandon Routh looked like Superman when he put his glasses on.
Okay, hold on. This is the comic that was posted. Granted, it's through Reddit. All right.
Hold on, really quickly, Mara.
Okay.
Black Snape moan.
Okay, I had to play that.
But I'm not seeing like them as hypno glasses. If you want to share it, I'll try to zoom in because I'm reading this strip. Okay, why don't you? Oh, I can zoom in and it gets smaller. Yeah, great Reddit pieces of shit.
You have to open it in an open image in new tab.
Yeah. Reddit's a piece of shit. It won't let me. It does the same thing. I said open it to a new tab. Doesn't.
Well, what does it say?
Okay. So after he talked about the sketch with Lana, he says apparently my power of his power of super hypnotism is always working at low power even when I'm not willing it. It automatically projects my subconscious desire to be seen as a weaker and frailer man than I really am. But without my conscious will behind it, my hypnotic power wouldn't work so well except for one thing, my glasses. So the glasses themselves aren't hypno glasses. They're kind of like dead, like kind of like correlating with that power. Years ago, as a young boy, I once tried to use my heat vision while posing as Clark, and the heat was melting the lenses. But I found a solution to the problem, and he scoured the wreckage from the ship. And that's how he created the glasses, like the indestructible glasses, so he could do it if he needed while he was like Clark Kent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading this, like I said, and it's his powers. But I couldn't create a self-hypnotic block against the spellbinder because I had my glasses on when I tried. And the same thing. It's not the glasses. Because he's saying right here, apparently my power of super hypnotism is always working at low power even when I'm not willing it.
Right. Well, like this is one that I found as well.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like, it's not the glasses. Like, it's not the glasses are hypnotizing.
Yeah,
people.
that's what it seems that way too. I've got to help her, but what can I do? Mental hypnosis. If this fails to work, I have to give up. It worked. If she remembers me changing from Superman to my head, what? Yeah, it's like
it's not the glasses.
hypnosis.
It's not the glasses. I'm not saying anything like for the glasses specifically. It's his power, and the glasses are kind of part of it because like he had to create those glasses specifically from elements from the ships. That way, in case he had to use his powers as Clark Kent, he could. But the glasses themselves aren't hypno glasses. That's why I was like reading this and going, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, everything that I'm looking up. Well, it's a way that, like, I guess the glasses, instead of him having hypnosis powers, just put that on the glasses. They're hypno glasses.
But then exactly wouldn't, like, it would be kind of a lie to say that that's canon, because it hits him changing that element of Superman's powers by going from him actually having those internal powers to.
But
Well,
I
he
think
just puts
the,
glasses on and
the,
hypnotizes people
the
like
canonization of hypnotism by Superman is canon. Maybe it's just the hypnotism that's canon.
well, the hypnotism is canon. It's from the
Mhm.
comics. Like, that's from like Superman 330 that I found. But not nowhere in those panels was it like, oh, these glasses are what's helping me hypnotize these people. No, it's his internal powers that are always working, even when he's not, like, conscious of them working. Like, they're kind of like working at low power. So him putting on the glasses, like, he's still, like, that power is still there. That's why people are not exactly recognizing him or putting two and two together that he's Superman.
Look at this picture.
I'm just saying that, like.
Here it is. Look at this picture. He brought coffee and tulips. I love it.
Yes, Max, it's Gunn saying that the reason why people don't recognize Clark Kent as Superman is because he's wearing hypno glasses. And Tom King, yeah, the bastion of fucking DC Comics knowledge, is the one who's like telling him, oh yeah, it's canon.
Okay, let's go back. So yeah, he says blah blah. Where am I at? He said, there's an answer for that in the comments. In the comics, it's canon that they
he hypnotizes people. That's his power. This low grade
Yeah.
power. Literally from the comics. He wants to point out comics. It's from the comics. I showed the panels that someone posted.
It says in the Silver Age, it was revealed that Superman's glasses distort his physical appearance in the eyes of other people. According to this explanation, Superman's glasses were created using the material from the windows of the rocket ship that brought him to Earth.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, it's like, but it's not
In other
hypnotizing
words-
people. It's distorting people's perceptions
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah, apparently has special properties that distort images, not only visual but also psychologically. In other words, Clark Kent's glasses literally hypnotize people into seeing him the way he wants them to see him.
Do they know the concept of hypnotism? He's not really hypnotizing them to see, like, what he wants them to see. It's just like they are, like, it's
They're just distorting their view.
yeah, it's distorting their view, their vision of him. Basically, they're distorting their vision of him. That's it. It's not like he's going like, you will see me as Clark Kent and not Superman. No, it's like, because that's not hypnotizing them. It's just distortion. It kind of distorts their.
It says
minds,
not just visually though, but also psychologically.
I know it distorts their mind psychologically, but it's not like they're under his influence or anything. That's hypnotism. Like, he would put them under his influence. All right, it's more like.
Well, it is. It kind of is under its.
It's under the glasses influence. But at the same time, it's like
he's causing that influence. So it is their vision is
the glasses are causing the influence, not like, but at the same time, it's like that's not him.
Understandable, but okay. Regardless of where it is coming from, there is influence in those people's mind.
It still makes no sense. It's just a distorted image. It's not like he's hypnotizing them.
But it does it psychologically as well.
Yeah, you could like make someone you could fuck with someone psychologically without hypnotizing them. That's not hypnotism. Like, you could mentally mess with someone without hypnotizing them.
Oops.
I'm a
Okay.
psychology major, Steph. I know how to.
know.
I know. I'm saying you can do that. You can do that without hypnotizing someone. I'm saying, like, they're.
I just think
words.
they're
I think
playing.
they're twisting words.
They're
They're playing semantics.
Mar,
of what they're doing.
I get it. You
Mhm.
want it to be proper. And
No, I'm
like,
saying,
no, you
like,
want the literal definite. I totally get it. I think that they're playing it fast and loose with
that's my
hypnotize.
point.
When they throw out hypnotize, that's the point I'm trying to make. They're
Yeah, I'm
playing
saying
fast and loose when they
that was my
use the
point.
word like
They're
when they
throwing that
use
word out.
hypno glasses or when they throw out hypnotize.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like, but I'm saying they're throwing. That's what I'm pointing out. They're throwing that word out without like using it in the proper context of the word, because like I said, you can mentally mess with someone without hypnotizing them. So you can mentally psychologically mess with someone without hypnotizing them.
Right, but to make it easier, I suppose, for people to understand like what these glasses are doing, they're just saying, "Oh, it's just hypnotize. It's just hypnotism. Hypno glasses. It has a nice ring to it. The glasses are influencing you and your brain to see this man in a different way." I think they're playing it fast and loose with the word hypnotize, yes, but it's just something that's easily recognized, like easily. It's an easy way for people to understand it.
Mhm.
Without like looking too far into it. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, okay.
I don't.
Hypno
But
glasses,
me
cool.
personally,
Like,
I
I
don't think
kinda
people are
get
going
it.
to understand it because they're going to take it as like he's hypnotizing them with hypno glasses. That's the literal definition. But I'm saying because most people I think are stupid.
Yeah,
And
most
describe
people are stupid.
to
They're
describe
like,
it
oh,
like
okay, the
this.
glasses influence people. So it's like hypnotism.
Yeah.
Ooh, so that's kind of cool. That's what I'm trying to say. They're playing it fast and loose with.
I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid
they
either way.
literally hypnotize people.
I think it's stupid either way. I think it's stupid either way. It should be his innate powers, basically, like without the
I
glasses.
don't think it should be. I don't think any form of hypnotism should be taking place. I think that.
Well, I'm saying if you're going with canon, it should be just his innate powers working at like low power.
Yeah.
When he's around
Well,
people.
understandable, yes, that could be fine if you're going canon and you're going with his powers of hypnotism or whatever he says in the comic that I just read. I think that David Corenswet looks different than his Superman persona. Like there is a difference there. That's why I thought that they were like, changing his hair up and making it all bushy. But if his glasses already distort that image, then
they shouldn't have to do it. Yeah, then they shouldn't have to do it.
what's the point of giving him a whole different look as Clark Kent if the glasses are meant to distort people's images, both visually and psychologically. So I think
we'll give
that
them
the whole thing
they did a better job with this than I love Christopher Reeve, but they did a better job with this, like making him look different.
Yeah.
Than the Superman persona than Christopher Reeve in the Superman movies. Christopher Reeve, I think
like
better.
If you look at these two pictures side by side, they could possibly be played by two different actors. You know what I mean? They made that difference visually all pretty good already. But a lot of people that I saw didn't like the way he looked as Clark Kent, but visually, if you want someone to look different than their Superman persona, you're going to have to, take it a little step further. Henry Cavill, I think a little bit, like, I love that he had a beard, but I mean, he's going to shave that off. He's going to be Superman. But even when he was Clark Kent, he literally would just put on the glasses. His hair was the same. All of that was the same. You know what I mean? This is different. He looks different. His hair is different. I like that. So if you're going to change his entire look, then why do you need the glasses? The look is different enough. You don't need the glasses.
Or you don't need like them as hypno glasses. They can just be regular glasses.
Yeah, they can just be regular glasses. They don't need to be hypno glasses. I think that this is just like James Gunn getting over the fact that always bothered him as a kid. So he needed to add something different. She needed to add that hypno glasses thing to get over like, oh, I just couldn't reconcile myself with the glasses. Like, they always bothered me. How can people not know that that's Superman? All he had on was a pair of glasses. I mean, it's worked so far. It's worked up until now. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a big conversation between comic book people, but it wasn't just his look, it was his mannerisms. It was the way he, hunched over. It was the way he acted a little bit weak. It was the way he spoke. It was a lot of different things. It wasn't just glasses. So I think that like they added that hypno thing so James Gunn can get over the fact that so James Gunn added it in because he always had an issue with it. Not that, fans always had it. It was just widely accepted, but it was a little, conversation.
Widely accepted, maybe even joked about, like,
it was just like joked about here and there. But I think that this is just another thing that like James Gunn is like, I didn't like this growing up. I knew he was Superman. All those other people were stupid, didn't know that he was Superman.
It's just James Gunn finding a way to make it about himself again. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like people have accepted that fact for a lot longer than you've been alive, James Gunn. And Tom King is not the fucking person
James
to go
Gunn didn't
to
say he
for
didn't understand Superman until he came across crypto. I knew that. What'd you say?
And I said Tom King is not the one to go to for comic book knowledge. Just saying that was James Gunn's first big mistake there.
Yeah. But anyways, the hypno glasses, whether or not you like the fact that they're called hypno glasses, or
I like in canon, it's not necessarily the glasses, it's his.
No, the canon is that Superman had the powers to hypnotize.
Yeah.
To make people forget what they just saw. Yes.
Pretty much. That's what ultimately was distorting their image of him, basically. Like the glasses were made from materials from like the Krypton ship, basically, but in canon, it was his powers, like his internal power. Like he had the ability to kind of make people distort what they were seeing so that they didn't put two and two together.
Right. But anyways, yeah, he's gonna have hypno glasses. They're not just glasses; they're hypno glasses.
Every time I hear hypno glasses, I think of those like novelty glasses from like the 80s with like the spirals on them, basically. Like
I think okay, so I think of hypnotic because everybody calls them hypno. I think of hypnotic. It's the first thing I think of.
Yeah.
Tazrin, member message. Thank you. Waterboarding Mara with Instagram posts. Yes, Tiny Chef.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. the Tiny Chef show on Nickelodeon. Black Cane for 2. Tiny Chef is anytime Steph cooks. That's true. Mara, where does the counter go up on you? Like, where does it reach you?
Trying to think. Probably about here.
Yeah.
I'd have to go stand next to it and take a picture of myself so you can see because I'm trying to remember how tall the counter is in comparison to me.
Mine comes up to like, yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the counter comes up. Whenever I cook, I am like this. I will easily burn myself because I'm just like that short.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like burn scars on my on my arms from cooking. But I don't know why I brought that up. Why did I bring that up? Oh, I brought that up because I bought these new shoes. All right. I bought these new shoes that added their sandals and they're chunky sandals. They're chunky sandals, but they add 3 inches to my height. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's so much easier for me to wash my hands at the sink wearing these shoes.
I just imagine you pulling out like a step stool to get to the sink before you got the shoes.
I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, it's so much easier for me to wash my hands. I swear, I was thinking to myself, is this how normal people who aren't short wash their hands? This is so easy. Like, my sleeves aren't getting wet. Nothing's happened. I was like, dang, this is awesome. Yeah, I got really excited. I got really happy wearing those glasses.
Any shoes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, wearing those shoes. Soul Assassin says, is this how tall people live? It's amazing. That's exactly what went through my mind. Word for word. I was like, this is what tall people experience. This is what it's like to be tall. Because I'm not even joking. I have step stools all around my house. Like, they're just everywhere. So I can reach stuff. I don't even use the top, I think, 2 shelves in my kitchen because they're too tall. I can't reach them. So I don't even use them. I can barely reach the second shelf.
I think I have like I'm short, but I make up for it with like a long reach that I got from my dad's side of the family. So I can still reach. I have to stand on my tiptoes to reach it, but I still can reach like tall shelves in the kitchen.
Yeah, I was so happy when I bought when I got those shoes in. I was like, oh my god, I'm tall. I got really excited. Aldo's journal for $1.99. Hey girls, he looks like Dan Schneider. Ooh,
I wonder what we were talking about.
I don't remember. I'm gonna get to these super chats a lot earlier.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm really bad at reading these. Ads for 2. Seriously, why isn't this show more popular? You mean Tiny Chef Show? Yeah, I know. Why don't more people know about it? Ads for 2. All humans are imperfect, regardless of race. That is very true.
I'm saying, like, you know, like every ethnicity has pretty much had slaves or been slaves in history.
Ads for 2. Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. That's very true. Ads for 2. I like Mara's attitude. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like I said, I've been canceled so much on Twitter. I don't give a shit at this point.
You know, I was canceled by Pedro Pascal's
Actually,
fan.
Soul Assassin, I'll climb.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I'll climb grocery store shelves if I have to reach something on the top shelf. I'll literally just start climbing the
Yeah,
shelf.
me too.
You're not supposed to do it, but I just step up there and I start climbing. Because half the time, there's no one around that's taller than me.
There have been a few times when I've been trying to reach something out to off of the shelf and I can't reach it. And I'll like try and get something else on the shelf to like assist in that. And someone will be looking and watching and laughing and they're like, dude, you know, like they'll watch me try to problem solve and grab what I need before asking if I need help. Like, that's happened to me multiple times.
It's kind of like watching a monkey figure something out in the wild.
I don't know how that's happened to me multiple times. I don't even know how many times that's happened to me. But they'll like laugh before they offer help, which is pretty funny, but whatever. And I'm like, I know that they're watching because you can feel it, you can sense it, you know that they're watching you. Even if the Superman movie is good, fans will tear it down. I don't think so. I mean, I think certain people are going in not wanting to like the movie, so they'll try and nitpick throughout the whole thing. But I want to like the movie. I want a good DC movie. I want a good Superman movie. Will I find things wrong with it? Sure. I find things wrong with movies all the time. But I want to be overall impressed with the movie. But yeah, thanks so much, you guys, for all the super chats. I appreciate it so much.
You rampant slag.
Listen, it's right above it. It's right above it. This is my favorite clip. It's right above it. I'm gonna.
Thanks so much, you rampant slag.
I'm moving that one. I'm moving rampant slag.
You might want to move.
I'm gonna move rampant slag up a little bit. I'm gonna move it up so it doesn't get. I'm gonna move these up, okay?
You rampant slag.
I had to play it again. Mara.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Do you miss Star Wars?
Honestly, no. I checked out a long time ago.
I know, but like, do you miss Star Wars? Sometimes, like, do you ever get like reminiscent over the good days of Star Wars and think like, God, I really wish we had some good Star Wars. Those were good times. Like, do you miss Star Wars?
I don't. Yes and no, because I'll find myself, despite my feelings towards Star Wars now, I can still talk about it. When I say talk about it, I mean, like, you know, if someone will bring something up in the chat, I'd be like, no, actually, like, or this, or, you know, like, it's this, or it's like, so this is what happened. But it's been, I think, like, what really turned me negative was the so-called fandom menace that, like, you know, like, turned. Like, as soon as, like, when I like started criticizing the Mandalorian show because it felt like Star Wars to them, basically, and I was criticizing it, they turned on me and other people. I was like, hey, I'm fucking done. That's where I was like, you know what? It can burn and I won't care.
Cool.
I'm just saying, like
Sometimes I miss Star Wars.
see, like if people were like, if they didn't, as a Phantom Menace didn't do that shit, then yeah, I probably would be a little bit reminiscent. But at the same time, it's like they kind of showed themselves to be hypocrites. And they turned on people that were criticizing the Mandalorian show in particular. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
You rampant slag.
There
I
you
am
go.
one. I am one. I'm breaking. Yes, I am one.
I
Because
do.
you wanted me to say yes, I miss Star Wars. I just can't say I can't. I do.
No,
right
I
now.
don't want you to say it.
Mhm.
No, I was honestly asking you, like, do you
Yeah,
miss it?
Not
Yeah.
really. No.
I don't want you to say yes. I don't want you to say anything but what you think or how you feel. Because sometimes I do. I miss Star Wars sometimes.
Mhm.
And sometimes I wish that we got something better, better Star Wars than what we've been given. But
See, the
we
thing is, like,
didn't.
my problem, well,
Shite.
one of my problems, not my main problem. My problems is when people were like, "It feels like Star Wars," and I'm like, "It shouldn't feel like Star Wars. It should be Star Wars. Because anything can feel like what you're used to. It doesn't make it what you're used to, if that makes sense. Basically, so it shouldn't just feel like Star Wars. I'd be watching this and actually be watching Star Wars, not something that feels like Star Wars. Because I could watch anything else and it'll feel like Star Wars. Because there have been a lot of Star Wars clones in terms of like themes and everything that feel like Star Wars, but it's not Star Wars.
Yeah. I agree. Hold on. Let me paste this here and then we'll talk about this really quickly.
All right.
Here's a new clip of Superman. Hold on. Let's watch this really quickly.
Mhm.
I haven't seen this one.
Oh yeah, this is exactly the humor we want to see in a Superman movie. Just listen to the end quote.
All right.
What is this? Crypto! What the hey, dude? I thought you destroyed the whole man robots. I thought I told you to keep an eye on him.
We feed the canine, but he is unruly. And he realizes we are not flesh and blood and couldn't, in our heart of hearts, care less whether he lives or dies.
Yeah, that's exactly the type of humor that's like.
I actually kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. We
Yeah.
could care less whether he lives or dies. Let's watch it again.
What is this? Crypto! What the hey, dude?
I don't like that he said, "What the hey, dude?"
Mhm.
What the hey,
Why is it doing that?
dude?
It does.
I thought.
Hold on.
Oh,
let me
it's
refresh it.
frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, let me refresh it. Stupid X.
This. Crypto! What the hey, dude? I thought you destroyed the whole Superman robots. I thought I told you to keep an eye on him.
We feed the canine, but he is unruly. And he realizes we are not flesh and blood and couldn't, in our heart of hearts, care less whether he lives or dies.
Technically, Superman can program them if he wants to care whether Crypto lives or dies. But the fact that it's done as out of humor that we don't care whether he lives or dies, I'm like, nope.
I think it's. I don't know. I don't mind the scene. I don't mind the scene. I don't mind the scene.
You destroyed the whole
Look.
Superman robots. I thought.
Let's look at his suit really quickly. It actually looks fine here. The suit looks fine here. Daniel Stewart says Superman robots.
Yeah. That can be programmed. But look, like there's a little space. See where his wrist is? Doesn't look
Superman
like,
robots are stupid. Yeah, I don't like that. Like, why is he calling Superman robots?
see that, like, I don't know if it's just the lighting, but look around his left hand wrist and his right hand wrist. Look, there's like a little bit of a gap in the sleeve, like it's not fitting around his wrist.
Oh yeah, there's gaps in his suit.
Yeah.
And this doesn't look too bad.
Robots. I thought I told you. What is this? Crypto!
Like the gap.
Yeah.
I don't like the collar. I don't. At first I was forgiving of the collar, But now I'm looking at I'm like, yeah, I don't like the collar. It keeps fucking freezing. Anyways. Look at this. Look at his. There's so many gaps in the suit.
Yep. Look at the boots. Don't even.
Even in his boots. Even in his boots. I don't know. It could just be because the scene has a fucking dog in it that I'm
It's
just
like he found Jor-El's boots in the ship and just put them on. Like you know, like when you're a toddler and you like put your parents' shoes on, and you walk around in them. That's what it looks like.
It does feel like a TV series. Like, yes, it does feel like a TV series. Gosh, I don't know. See, look at the collar. Look at his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the scene. I don't mind this scene when if I'm comparing it to the others that have released. I would have preferred to get this scene than like the Lex Luthor scene, you know.
Oh yeah, the one where he has super strength but can't. Those ones must be like made of like the most durable material because Superman has super strength and can easily whip that desk through the window, but only does enough to crack it. Then asks Lex, "What did you say?"
Yeah, what the hey, dude? I just in every single scene that they've released, he's whining or yelling.
Yeah.
So
that's.
I don't like this.
No.
Is probably if I had to, do 1, 2, and 3, this would be my favorite out of those 3, and that's not saying much. So.
Mm-hmm. It's like I was like telling Trey this when we were like hanging out in Discord last night. Like I understand like the clip with like Superman and Lex Luthor. I understand Superman being upset. All right, but there's a way to be upset and assertive without yelling like you're a toddler, like you're demanding your mom or dad to like pay attention to you, or to answer your question. Basically, like you're 3 or 4 years old. Like you can do that without the yelling. That's what took me out of that scene. Is when Clark Kent comes in. Okay, him bursting through the door, I'm like whatever. But when he comes in and starts yelling, I was like, no. That took me out.
What do you think? Have you seen a lot of the clips that have been coming out from the Superman Twitter account? Because they've been doing a lot of TikTok marketing, and I kind of like it. I know a lot of people think it's cringe, but I like it. They did one thing that was TikTok marketing, which was this. They hopped on this trend, which is so funny. Let me start with the trend first. This is the trend. All right. It's basically like they're a husband's wives introducing their husband to their fan base, right? Mm-hmm. To their platform. And they're telling their friends or whoever is going to be watching this video, like, hey, they want to show you this. You better watch, you better pay attention, you better be nice. Like say nice things in the comments, which is actually like really cute. It's super cute. And then the husband comes forward and he shows them whatever he's showing them off, right? Mm-hmm. I've seen them. This girl, her husband showed off like his favorite Pokemon cards. I've seen one with Lego. I've actually seen one with oh my god, what are they called? I don't remember what they're called. But this is the trend. I think it's.
I want to show you some of his Pokemon cards. You better say they're cool and you better be nice.
Hi, how are you? So I have a lot of Pokemon cards I want to show you guys. I have a huge collection, but I want to show you some of my favorites, okay? Honey?
Get him, babe. Get him.
Right. My favorite one is the shiny Espeon because it reminds me of my wife. That's her favorite, and she's shining beautiful just like this one. And then
so they're coming from behind. They're like, be nice. Like say that's cool. Like say, wow, that's really cool. So that's the trend that's been going around right now. And Superman did it, or the cast of Superman did it, which I thought was actually really cute.
This is our co-star, David. He's going to tell you about the new Superman movie, okay?
You better listen and be nice.
Hey, guys. So Superman comes out July 11th. It's an awesome movie.
If it's got like great action sequences and flying and fighting and then also some amazing character, development stuff and great actors and great set pieces. And so if you're available July 11th, you should go see it, or the 12th or the 13th, or whenever you're available, just come and check it out.
You know what I feel like? There's like you got this, champ. You got this, champ. You say this like it's like your 5-year-old. You got this, champ.
No, it's supposed to be like it's almost supposed to be
I know,
like
when Nicholas Hoult was like rubbing his shoulders, like you got this, champ.
Yeah. Mars says this doesn't sell it. It's just I think that this is the TikTok marketing. The people on all of the people on TikTok love it. They've been loving the marketing actually on TikTok. If you go and look at the comments, they've been eating it up. But it is cringe. It's 100% cringe. Hi, Maxfield.
Yeah.
It's 100% cringe, but this is TikTok marketing. Like this is what they've been doing on TikTok. That's how you market to the kids on TikTok. So, but yeah, they're just jumping on they're doing a whole different trend that's been going viral on TikTok, jumping on that trend. And if you jump on that trend, your video gets posted even more and pushed on TikTok because so many people are on that trend. So the likelihood of them seeing your video is high. But yeah, it's just a different, it's a different kind of marketing that is incredibly cringe. And I think that a lot of people who aren't like the target market for that specific type of marketing is going to call it cringe. They're not going to understand it because that's like, it's made for like the people on TikTok who know all of these trends, who know what they're talking about. Like that's what these are for. I think like if you move this marketing onto a different platform, it will not work. Like people will not understand it. They won't know what's going on. And they'll just be like, what are they doing? That's so weird.
That's
why are they introducing it like that?
That's my attitude. It's like,
that's why I had to that's why I had to show you, like, before I showed you Superman, I'm like, look, this is the trend that they're trying to replicate with the Superman movie. And yeah, it's basically like them like, good job, be nice. Say something nice in the comments. So yeah. Let Superman market Superman. Well, I mean, you can't nowadays with people not watching TV anymore. You have to be creative with your marketing, right? Because that's how like we used to see marketing was on TV. Yeah, gone are the days that
not just the trailers, but the commercials, like with the
trailers, commercials, all of that stuff. And now even on streaming platforms, like if you have the one that don't have commercials in it, that don't have ads in it, then you will never see an ad or a trailer for this movie, right? So you have to market it in another way. And TikTok marketing is something different. They have to change up the marketing. Of course, they have all of the trailers and all of the clips and all that stuff on TikTok as well. But in addition to that, they have these little videos, so which is cool.
I remember when the prequels were coming out before the Phantom Menace, and they were not only marketing the Phantom Menace, but they were trying to hype people up with their love of Star Wars in general. And I remember the commercials that came out. And one of them was like a dad with his like kids in like the store or something like that. I can't remember what it was like marketing if it was marketing the store or not, but it was dad in the store with his kids, and he was quoting Star Wars in certain situations. Like he popped up behind this tall man. He's like, "Chewie, we gotta go rescue the princess." Like he's like quoting like lines from like A New Hope and things like that. He put 2 cinnamon buns like on the side of his head like this. He's like, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." He's quoting, and they would do stuff like that basically to kind of reignite your love of the original trilogy and get you hyped for the prequel trilogy that's coming out.
Yeah. Like TikTok marketing worked for Minecraft. It worked for the Minecraft movie. Jumping on different trends. Look at that. That movie hit $1 billion. And that movie that movie was marketed and promoted on TikTok, and look what happened. Same thing with Despicable Me. That 4th movie was terrible. I like the Despicable Me movies. That 4th movie, was it the 3rd or 4th one? It doesn't matter. That last one, this past one, was terrible. But
that would be the 4th one.
The 4th one, but they marketed it on TikTok, turned it into a trend that you can jump on. Boom, that movie, I mean, I don't think it hit $1 billion, but it did really well. So yeah, TikTok marketing, they're taking advantage of that TikTok marketing. And if you take the videos out of TikTok and put them somewhere else, they're cringe as hell.
They are.
They are cringe as hell.
They are.
So I can appreciate that type of marketing. I don't.
Oh yeah, like, and Trey's pointing out the Taco Bell Chihuahua when they did like a tie-in to the Godzilla 1998 movie, where you had the Chihuahua like with the box.
Oh, that's right.
Trap, basically, like, you know, here, lizard, and then you see like the Godzilla's foot, like, you know.
I think I saw that on. I think someone posted that on Twitter.
Yeah, and he's like, I think I need a bigger box, but that was like the marketing back then, where it's like there's a tie-in with an entity or a product, but it kind of got you hyped or thinking about the movie it was tying itself to.
I kind of want to talk about this really quickly and get your opinion on it.
While you're bringing it up, I gotta, like, you know, grab my dog and bring her in here so she doesn't get annoying. I'll be right back.
Remember when I said at the very beginning, chat, that this was going to be a shorter stream because we didn't really have a lot of topics to talk about, and we're still not done talking. I ended up finding a whole bunch of things. But this is something that is happening. Blue's Clues host Steve Burns is launching a podcast for adults called Alive. The podcast is described as a continuation of the beloved kids show that will tackle adulthood and what it means to stay human in a complicated world. Now, look, I don't mind this. You know, I think that Steve has very good intentions. I think that what happened was, or not, I think what happened, but when Steve put out that, where was it? Where is it? Oh, it's not on here. Hold on. Steve put out here it is. He put out an inspirational video that addressed his sudden departure in a viral Twitter clip on the Twitter account. And people loved it. And this was it. He talked about, you know, when Steve went off to college and it felt very abrupt. And then he told them, like, you know what? I think you're doing really good. You know, it's been a while since I've seen you. I hope you're doing well. I think you're doing well. After all these years, I never forgot you, ever. And I'm super glad we're still friends. You look great, by the way. Whatever you're doing is working. So people really loved this. They really latched onto it. And this video was his inspiration for this podcast that he's doing. Now, depending on how they do this podcast, I think that this could be a really positive podcast to, you know, be out there for young adults going off to college or, you know, or things like that. Like, I think that would be a cool demographic of people to listen to this positive, because this is supposed to be positive motivation for young adults. And I think that they need that, you know, in their lives, because a lot of we see it all the time, like everywhere. They're so angry, right? As long as there's no political shit and it's just positive, right? That's what I want. Nothing political, because I think that all of them being fed all of this political stuff is just driving them crazy. So this could possibly be something incredibly good for them, for young kids, you know, going off to college, growing up, even people that grew up with Steve, with Blue's Clues, you know, going back and listening to him, listening to the podcast, listening to what he has to say. That could be cool. I think that could help a lot of people because fans of Blue's Clues, you know, had such a positive reaction to him coming back, dressing up as Steve, and, you know, giving them that message. The only thing that I was sort of like, pause, hold on, was something down here. Where was it? Oh man, where was it? The podcast will touch on themes including morality, masculinity, and loneliness and success. So, like, those are good ones. Those are good topics to touch on. I like that. You know, I really like that. They're gonna morality, masculinity, and loneliness. Those are some good topics to talk on. Gosh, where was it? Curious investigation about hearing clues. I don't remember where it went. Maybe it was in a different article that I saw this quote, but I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the quote. But it was along the lines of, like, you know, you're never. I can't remember. We're like guiding adults or something like that. To me, it implied that, like, adults can still stay children, and it's like, no, we have priorities. We can't stay children all the time. So I didn't really like what they said that in that context, because I wish I had the quote. But it was something along those lines, like, you know, it's even as you grow older, you still need, you know, childhood things or something like that. I can't remember. And it's like, no, you're getting older. You know, you can't be a child forever, essentially. So
I'm hoping it's just like a poor choice of words, and they mean something like.
I think that's what it was. It probably was like a poor choice of words.
Like, you never forget, like, the happy memories of your childhood, like to keep it with you as you get older. But not that, like, not. I'd have to see the quote. So, like I said, like, hearing it, I'm kind of hoping it's just like a poor choice of words.
I hope so. He better have his handy dandy notebook.
I was going to say, I think part of the reason why we're seeing a shift in pop culture is because what Hollywood can't seem to grasp is teenagers don't like to be told how to think. Especially if you, like, put a lot of political shit in something, their tendency is to rebel against whatever it is they're being told to think. Not saying all teenagers, because I've, like, you know, basically student teaching, have experienced a gambit of personalities. But for the most part, teenagers like to rebel, and they don't like to be preached to.
You can still be a child at heart, but you need to mature and take on responsibilities as you grow up and become an adult. Yes,
I think I'm hoping that's referencing being a child at heart.
Yeah, I wish I could find that quote, because I
basically keeping those happy memories from your childhood, but still but still be grounded in the fact that you are an adult.
I didn't really like that quote. I can't remember what it was. Girl.
Wow.
I'm so tired of Pedro Pascal. Look at this.
I know. I am too.
This is from his, I think it was his Vanity Fair shoot. I wish that they would be like, hold on, where's his face? I saw this quote, or someone posted on Twitter, like, Hollywood, can you please stop trying to act like this guy is attractive?
Yeah.
He's like the sex symbol of 2025. Like, no.
I think
he's not. I think he's
pushing him in general. Like, stop putting him in everything. Jesus Christ. Like, he's not the next big thing.
Look at him. Look at the Joker.
Yeah.
Look at that. He looks insane.
I think the only role he's ever able to pull off was his role in Game of Thrones. That's it, from what I can see. Like, that's it.
He's crazy. He's crazy, and he's so cringe. I can't stand him.
Wendy. Okay, she's not paying attention.
I can't stand him. Someone else that I really can't stand. Oh, really quickly. Look, did you see this?
What?
Matt Reeves finished the script for the Batman 2. Let's go.
Finally.
I'm excited. All right. I'm excited for it. I didn't hate the Batman like a lot of people did. I actually thought it was a really good movie, and it spawned the Penguin TV show, which
Penguin was the only good thing about
great.
the Batman.
which is equally great. I loved it. I thought it was
Colin
good.
Farrell's performance as Oswald Cobblepot was the best thing about the Batman. And my dog's name is Wendy. So
Matt Tomlin shares notebooks he used for writing Batman 2. Look at that. Actually, like little, these are nice. I want these journals. Gotham Project. I want these journals. Someone steal them for me. Commit a crime like Riri Williams.
When we joked about breaking in and like getting the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Oh, I do remember that.
Doing the whole what's that called? Fanboys mission.
Yeah, the
basically.
fanboys thing. Now we gotta break in and get these notebooks.
Now we gotta break in and get these notebooks.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my god, Mara. We've been streaming forever.
Yeah.
Let me see. Ads for 2. I like Mara's attitude. Ads for 5. Even if this Superman movie is good, fans will... Oh, I already read that one. Last Toxic Mail for 5. Shout out to the sweet pink candy hidden behind dark lips. But also shout out to Mara Robot.
To answer your question from way earlier, last Toxic Mail, I saw it, and because you asked about like whether Arabic women had dark lips. Well, yes and no, because I don't know what your fascination with is Arabic women. I'm speaking as a half Middle Eastern woman. We're a hodgepodge of like different skin tones and everything. So it depends on where you go in the Middle East. I'm just gonna say that yes and no.
Mine are kind of pink right here.
So, well, I'm like I said, I had like the fair skin tone, like the European side, but like, okay, to be a history nerd here for a second, Ataturk, Ataturk, who's considered the father of modern day Turkey, is believed to have blonde hair and blue eyes. So I'm not depending on where you go in the Middle East, you're gonna see a little, basically hodgepodge of different skin tones and everything. So. And yes, I used hodgepodge. So yes, it's a mix. It's a mix.
I mean, you're like here.
Yeah.
Okay. Days without Stafar fighting 7. Scratch that 0.
That's not That's not fighting.
Yeah, that's not fighting.
That's debating with enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm. You all have seen us fight.
Yeah.
I
constantly bring up the Mortal Kombat discussion, basically, where
Yeah.
we're talking about Mortal Kombat 2021. That was a fight.
Mm-hmm. As for 2, we missed good Star Wars, of course. Yes, good Star Wars. Tara Crystal, Steph, you got your box of the oatmeal spice. I haven't been to my P.O. box. I'm going tomorrow, though. I meant to go yesterday, and I didn't wake up in time because I've had really bad insomnia, and I've literally gone to bed at like 6 a.m. the past like 3 days. I've been staying up all night because I can't sleep. Black Cane for 2. Corn Sweat has golden retriever energy. Yes.
He kind of does.
Yeah, he actually does. Yeah. Maxfield also has golden retriever energy, and he became a YouTube member. Thank you, Maxfield. Ads for 2. Big government treats adults like children. Yes, that's a yes, 100% hard yes. Spirit with a $4 super sticker, and it's the lime and the lemon. I like that super sticker.
No.
All right, thank you so much, everybody, for your super chat.
You rampant slag.
That was on purpose. That one was on purpose.
You rampant slag.
That's like my favorite thing to play. Every single time. No, thank you for your super chat.
It's the best day ever. It's the best day ever.
You rampant slag.
I can like put that at the end of everything. It's so funny.
I was gonna say last Toxic Mail. If you're curious, I am Turkish and Syrian on the Middle Eastern side.
Last thing, really quickly. Last thing that we will talk. What do you think about this, Mara? Oh, hold on. I need to pull up her.
Why am I a
Instagram.
slag? You got to get to know me. Anyway.
Okay. Dude, Rachel Zegler.
Oh, she's back.
She thinks she's back. She's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm back. All right. She thinks she's back. Dude, like if you go to Rachel Zegler's Instagram account, because that's where she posts everything. She's very, very active on Instagram. And you go to her stories, it's nothing but like Avita stuff and her dog. But when she posted this, it was all of these people just saying she is a talent of our generation. I've never seen anybody as talented as Rachel Zegler. Like these are people, you know, who have gone to the show and are posting a video about Rachel Zegler and, you know, seeing her performance, and they're completely just glazing her up. Like she's the greatest thing I've ever seen. She's the greatest performer I've ever seen. I love Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler is amazing. Rachel Zegler is crying because she did so amazing. Oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever watched on Broadway. Rachel Zegler is the best singer ever that I've ever heard, ever. She is just the best.
The bestest ever.
Yeah.
And ads. I don't think you would call me human if you knew me. Just saying. Anyway, moving on.
And Rachel Zegler was just laughing at herself because she was bawling after this performance of Evita. She was just bawling and she just didn't know what to do because she got a like 4-minute standing ovation for her performance in
Was
Evita.
there a gun to their heads?
No. And she didn't know what to do, right? So, but she posted a version of this clip from multiple people's different perspectives who came to the show, right? And after posting that, I think this was yesterday or the day before sometime. After posting that, she posted this, right? At the very end of all of that, she posted, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. After, I'm not even joking, after like maybe 10 or 12. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. It's not 10 or 12. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After 8 clips of people just completely praising her. And this is like not even, this has been all week long. She'll be posting, you know, things of people like praising her and how great of a performer she is. So after all of that, after news articles that came out talking about her, doing an interview, and there's finally, you know, in her mind, some positive press surrounding her name, she posted this. She posted this on her Instagram with the John Wick, like the threatening John Wick, like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Yeah, she's not, like, she didn't exactly think that through with the clip that she picked for I'm Back.
So what is she up to lately? Hold on, let me look. Let me check her Rachel Zegler, because remember it was announced that she was going to be in a movie with Marissa Tomei, and I remember going over to her IMDb page to see if that was in there, and it was. I can't remember what the name of the movie was. That they announced that she was going to be in with Marissa Tomei. But I remember going to her IMDb and checking and seeing like, oh, is this true? Like, is she going to be in it? And it was in her IMDb, like for an upcoming project. And now like it's gone. It's no longer there. And apparently that movie was being shopped around. It was being shopped around. It wasn't like anything that was currently.
So it wasn't officially greenlit.
No, it was just being shopped around.
Okay.
And it was on here, but now it's not. Like it was in, you know, upcoming projects, and now it's not. It's not there anymore. And then like there was also an announcement that Rachel Zegler was going to be in The Sound of Music, and you know, people got upset, but that wasn't official. Like they made this announcement that she was being considered for it, but that it was like an official announcement.
What?
As the main character.
The main character, last I checked, was not an annoying cunt.
Okay. And people were upset that, she was going to be playing the main character. But then if you go to the article, if you read the article, it's like this whole article about nothing because it's not even confirmed. It wasn't confirmed. Like there was nothing that had been officially announced. Nobody has talked to her about it. Like it was just, oh, she's just being considered. So I don't know. I don't know if she is back, but for sure, content creators right now.
Yeah.
This was Gary's reaction. Content creators right now, like, yes, come on back right now. And I love this one too. She's been in 3 movies and all 3 of them flopped. Well, she's been in more than that, and they've all flopped, with the exception of the Ballad of Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I believe only broke even. So I don't know if she's back, but maybe, you know what? Maybe her confidence is back. So good for Rachel Zegler.
I don't think it ever left her, to be honest.
Oh my god, I almost ended the stream.
That would have been funny.
I almost ended the stream, and I meant to press stop sharing. Anyways, that's it. Those are all the topics. See, we had a lot of topics. We had a lot of stuff to talk about. Mara, what do you have going on this week?
This week I will be getting back into streaming. I think the only day that I'm not going to stream will be tomorrow. What I think what I'll do is, instead of streaming tomorrow, since July 4th is a Friday, and I'll most likely be able to start my stream earlier and go for longer, just do a longer stream Friday. But Tuesday, reading streams on my YouTube channel. I'm reading The Two Towers right now, and the last the reading stream I did, we met Treebeard and the Ents. So go listen to the replay. I hope you enjoy it. Wednesday we'll be back to the top 10 lists that I do with Steve Kenobi, and those are our own personal top 10 lists. And right now we're on our personal top 10 list of 2000 films. So come check that out. Again, it's our personal list, subjective list. So the movies themselves might not be objectively good, but they are subjectively good to us. That'll be Wednesday. And then Thursday, back to Doom the Dark Ages. Gaming stream on my Kick and Twitch. And then Friday, like I said, because it's July 4th, a holiday, which means be able to start my stream, I believe, on the earlier side. I'll be doing a longer stream of Doom the Dark Ages. Since I got my new PC and was able to rehook my Xbox back up to my PC and get the capture software and everything fixed and moving forward. So there is that. And that's pretty much it. And so, back and Talk Nerdy to Us will be on my channel next week, next Sunday.
As for me, I'm just doing the Ironheart reviews. The second episode review should be up later on today. I'm pretty much done with it. I just need to do maybe 10 minutes of editing on that, and that should be up later on today. I don't care when I upload my video, so it'll be up. It'll be up soon.
Yeah.
But until then, if you're interested in what Ironheart is about, you can go to the video that I have out right now on episode 1, and you can fight with people in the comments. Because I just don't like her because she's black, apparently. So that should be that should be entertaining.
That's why I'm seeing a lot go around, these are the common denominators of why people are bitching about the current MCU, and it's either race, sex, or combination of the two, or sexuality. No, there's yeah.
But yeah, that's all that's going on with me. I know that I haven't been doing nerdy news. I meant to do it this week, and I'm just gonna switch the days for nerdy news because I think I'm having too much personal stuff come up on that specific day. So yeah, I have to change the day to nerdy news. Possibly to Thursday, Monday or Thursday, one of those 2 days. So either tomorrow or Thursday. Anyways, that is it. That's it for us. That's it for me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for the super chats, the super stickers, all that. We really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. And I think I'm going to jump on Mario Kart with G&G. I don't know how long they're going to be live. But I'm going to jump on Mario Kart with them here in a little bit. Yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone.
You rampant slag.
Oh, dang it. Hold on.
What?
Mara, what channel's the stream on?
Yours.